So we're back for once. Okay. And how long was the last recorder? 5 hours?
5 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. We
Uh-huh.
cannot go more than this,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think we
Yeah.
have to stop the trend of like ever increasing like recording times. I think we have to stop that. We have to break the trend with
Yeah.
this one. And
Yeah.
to break the trend with this one, we have to make a very quick intro. Okay, okay.
Yeah, we're making a
Yep.
very quick intro. So yeah. Um pretty much welcome back to the 3.3 version for this podcast. Yeah. Um so of course you have me, you have Fred, you have Yuffie as our host. And they will just be going through like whatever was left behind from the previous was left out from the previous recording and just talk about 3.3 as usual, you know?
Yeah, like
Mhm.
surprisingly, we still have things we have not talked about after that 5 hour long. Jesus Christ.
Somehow.
Yeah, we still have a lot to talk.
Yeah.
But hopefully we do this within like a limit this time.
Yeah, we
We'll try to
should.
control ourselves. I say as like I look at future me, like I break the fourth wall and look at future me editing this and seeing the 5 hour mark once more.
Yeah,
No, do not jinx it.
let's not jinx it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much let's just cut the chase and, you know, start sooner than like usual.
Yeah,
Even
let's
though
start now. I mean, like, I think
Yeah.
all of us are already familiar with what 3.3 is. If you haven't
Yep.
watched the previous episode, I know it's long, but come on, you're already here. Anyway,
You're already here. Let's start. Okay, so we're going to quickly kick off where go off from where I left my section of the podcast. So I'm not I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We're going into the Amber Room, specifically the project. And like the project was kind of a very interesting turn of events because on one hand, now we have like a new piece of lore, and it's kind of insane, provided that sure, the Foundation has been experimenting on people. Yeah, I expected that.
yeah, what a
Sure.
surprise.
I mean, this already been mentioned since like the intro chapters.
Chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was suggested, but it was not explicitly stated.
Yeah, like, because, like, to be fair, do you really trust Archon at that point?
Yeah, true. Exactly.
I mean, I feel like Akane is like the type who doesn't lie.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't trust her, but she doesn't lie type shit.
She
Kinda.
Lots of half-truths.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, very cool cube.
Really cute.
Here's the really nice key that you have. I'm just saying you're gonna get fucked over by just using it once. So, speaking of the cube, on the other hand, it kind of just like slightly explains Igor's character a bit better somehow. Like if if you were like largely confused from the previous chapter, from chapter 8, you have this to like explain everything
Yeah, that is if you like interact with this chapter.
at all. And because of the nature of this, it's heavy spoilers. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it either. So yeah.
Yeah, we've already warned you last episode. It's fine.
Exactly. You
I'm
have to
sure this
watch.
was like a lot of spoilers last episode.
You have to watch the previous episode to just see this one before you see this one or any like future patches related to um these two specific topics. Anyway, right. The Amber Room project, it's a secret project that was created by the Pax Security Council and led by the commanding officers of the St. Pablo Foundation and Xeno Armaments Academy. Its loop laboratory was built underneath Belgrade in the 1980s era, and there were two goals that were set out for the project. It was to see if restoring reincarnated or remade soul to its original form was possible, and to locate Earth and restore her soul from before the first storm. I hope you did your homework for this one, but I doubt you did. Um, you have to read that one specific thread, and then also posted something else, but that's for later. The thing is with um these two goals is that uh, this is how do I even begin to explain this project without kind of going into like a mess of it? This entire project is a mess in itself, and you know what? Um, I'm not going to like make too much effort in trying to explain everything, so I'm just going to make you guys do it. I'm kind of kidding, but
Oh
um,
God.
I certainly have something. I certainly have something for you both. Before we start, okay, I have these sticky notes here.
Jesus.
What I intentionally wanted to do with this is that I would put these on like the map that's like right next to this. But you know what I wanted to do is now you both have to organize these sticky notes in order. Like on the on the top side they have to be the first four events, and to the last row it has to be like the most recent thing.
Oh, so we have to
Or
timeline it.
yep,
Uh-huh.
you have to go through a timeline of events, and
Do I
yeah.
look like a foundation office worker?
I'm making you do it because you're here and you're stuck with me for the next hour. So
Huh. I can't even see. This crystal is so tiny. I'm trying to like zoom in.
it's so tiny.
I mean, I could read it for
Okay,
you.
here.
Yeah,
I can read it one
sure.
by one. So on the top left, we have Vertin and Igor strike a deal and travel to the defunct Amber Room in Belgrade. Next, we have Igor is hired to set up defenses around the city and transport anomalies to the Amber Room. Third, the Pax House tasks Zeno and the Foundation Command to lead the Amber Room project. Fourth, Igor deserts Zeno along with its unit. Fifth, a variant of Erd is taken to the Amber Room and is experimented on. Sixth, Erd escapes the Amber Room. The one after sixth, Zeno and Foundation Command starts identifying anomalies after the second storm. Eighth,
Mm,
Burton is provided information about the Amber Room from the Hawks, prompting her to set out for Belgrade and investigate. And
And then
then
the last
ninth,
four.
one of Erd's tests transports her to the point in the future and encounters Burton. 10th, the Amber Room project is shut down and the laboratory is deserted. 11th, the Amber Room is built and they begin conducting the vessel and solvent experiments. And finally, 12th, Zeno and the Foundation Command start kidnapping people that are determined as anomalies.
okay, you
Just
know
like
what? The easiest
good
part
solution.
would be finding the first and the end. It's gonna be like
Exactly.
animations. Go with the key points. Go with the first and the end result first.
Go with the keyframes.
Go with the
Yeah, go with
keyframes.
the goddamn key point frames.
I think the first one is very. Can we start now?
Yeah.
I think the first one is very easy, which is Zeno and the Foundation starts identifying anomalies after the second storm.
So just like I'll quickly make a bit of space somewhere. I guess somewhere. Like I want, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna want you guys to like just put these in order,
Hmm.
and I'll like put like the image below this, or rearrange it accordingly.
Xenos. Okay, Xenos start. Xeno and Fire start identifying anomalies after the second storm. And the end result. Red, do you think the end card should be like one of damn, which one should it be?
Yeah, Diana is a bit hard. I think it's easier to identify number two actually. I think it's easier if you go one by one.
Uh, one of Earth's tests transport her to the point of the future and encounters 13. Is it that should would that one be the last one?
No, I think that would be before the.
Considering
Technically, it's like the last one and
If
also in the middle
anything,
one.
considering this like the specific
I'm
note.
asking Red.
Uh-huh.
Aren't you supposed to be like the one like making this mini game?
Yeah, sure. But
Yeah,
like, if anything, you can. I'm just suggesting you can put it anywhere
yeah,
at any point.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it
why
could
I'm
be either.
asking if we should put it in the end.
Yeah, I think it works with the end. Like it's a good
Red,
cap
are you
off.
there?
Yeah. I accidentally muted myself. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, Red, are you there?
Yeah, but like I think it's a good off capping point because I think before that is going to be variant of Earth. I mean no, I think before that is Vertin and Igor go to Bear Grab, just not really a satisfying ending. But yeah, I think that's the very
Yeah.
end, which is number 12.
So like the
The second one I think is very easy. The second and third one, which is like the one immediately above and below, which is after identifying the anomalies, the Pax House asks them to start the Amber Room project, and then the Amber Room was built.
I was like, because I was thinking of like the scene where Burton met Earth in the Amber Room was like the scene where Earth pressed the button and was like transferred to like, I guess that's the past? Question mark? I don't know. She can only use like tale of the past, so her name is Earth, yes.
But yeah,
So we're go first. The one would be Second Storm Anomalies.
yeah,
That one
Second
is
Storm,
first.
and then Pax House.
Deimos, you're not moving the notes.
Yeah. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pax House.
Okay.
And then Amber Room construction.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's kind of hard to tell because do they start kidnapping people or is Igor asked to kidnap people? Because it's kind of the same.
I think like they hired Igor first because they probably need people. They probably need like capable people of doing human trafficking.
He's surprisingly capable of human trafficking. That's one thing I could compliment him by. Yeah, I think. I think I'd put Igor first, being hired.
Yeah, I would too.
Igor being hired first, and then Xeno and Foundation kidnap people.
Yeah.
And then the next one is obviously Earth being taken in.
And experimented on, okay.
And then this is kind of like the iffy part because technically this Earth is technically transported to the future, but also the future Verton sees Earth. So like it's at this point where like the last one comes into play.
Really depends on like the perspective on this one.
From
that's why I say it's last.
But I think after this, Earth escapes the Amber Room.
We still don't know how she escaped. That was like when she was a martyr, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was during Regulus's time. So like honestly, I'm surprised how many things happened in like 66, despite it only being like
during
20
Regulus'
minutes.
time, she was that was Melania's event. She was like Atu's a friend from afar.
Yeah, she was a friend from afar.
Yeah.
Like I assume from that point, she got taken in after Remit Cup and then escaped before the storm, and yeah. She got reversed by then and then turned into Marta and all that.
Very interesting
from that
point.
though, Bird escapes the Amber Room, and then the Amber Room project is shut down.
Mm. Okay.
One thing I would say though is that it's genuinely surprising how how much they left behind unguarded.
Mm.
Um, and then afterwards, Igor deserts Zeno. Burton goes to Beregrad. Burton and Igor have a deal, and then the last one.
All right.
Yeah, they got information from the Hawks, so that Jason goes to have a deal with Igor.
You're forgetting
Kind of funny
my
hindsight.
first work for Reverse is literally a timeline.
It's also one of my first. It's one of the first things that I made for this fandom.
I hate timelines.
Specifically this timeline. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not that bad. As I previously said, one of my past fandoms is FNAF, and we do not talk about the timeline of FNAF.
God. Okay.
We do not talk about the timeline of FNAF. This timeline makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's a bit comprehensible.
Right, my fandom before this was Arc Knights. Do you think we have a timeline? Like, it took like so many years before we have like an actual timeline.
Uh-huh. I mean, in the end, though, this is like at the very least more comprehensible than the other two phantoms.
At the very least. You know, surprisingly, for a game about time travel, we're not having that hard of a time.
Don't even talk about Hoyoverse timeline.
Yeah, didn't even talk about Hoyoverse. You know what? Yeah.
Hoyoverse timeline was also like, ooh.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah.
You know, this is a breath of fresh air. It's far simpler than last time.
Yeah. I couldn't. Like, the Amber Room, it's a bit simpler because this is just more so exclusive to chapter 12 anyway. So it's not like the essence there, which is like right there. I could just scroll the other way and just, yeah. It's in the same doc. But anyway. Yeah, everything that you've compiled, let's see how everything goes down first. So, okay. So the first event, Zeno in the Foundation Command starts identifying anomalies after the second storm, which is correct. They start identifying these anomalies first because, according to Igor, a lot of names don't match faces and a lot of faces don't match names, if I'm not wrong. Not verbatim anyways. And then the Pax House tasks Xeno and Foundation Command to lead the Amber Room project, which is also correct. And from there, they built the Amber Room in Beregrad in the 80s era. And then Igor comes into the picture where he is hired by the Foundation and by the Foundation Committee to start setting up defenses around the city and transport anomalies to the Amber Room. What I did want to say was that Igor is likely not the only person that started transporting anomalies to the Amber Room. Like, he only kidnapped 43 people out of probably like so much more. So
yeah, I feel like Sam and the others are definitely in on it.
Yeah, it's possible. It's entirely possible.
I mean, that's how they get their ranks, though. That's how they get their rank.
It's more so that they're trying to like absolve themselves of what happened in 1999 for some reason. But anyway, then of course the Xeno and Foundation Command start kidnapping people that are determined as anomalies, which is it's just kind of curious because then again, it all happened in the background, so no one actually knew what was going on. So it makes sense that this information was only revealed in this chapter. Then, yeah, in 1966, a variant of ERD is taken to the Amber Room and is experimented on. So yeah, what I wanted to say was that, regarding this, I think 1966 covered Limit Cup more punk than the prologue. So that, and in addition to that, we do have like the exact date of when um that specific experiment that caused Earth to transport into the future. It was mentioned in March. The
In
gatekeeping
the
shit in
paywall,
March.
merch. Of course, the law behind the paywall.
The gatekeeping shit. See, you have like
The
exact.
gatekeeping with
Yeah,
money.
I mean, like at the very least, it's not like that one situation back a few years ago where they were gatekeeping lore behind money, but like it's using
Mm.
NFTs.
Oh,
Bro, yeah. But yeah, on June 2nd, 1966, the day before the seventh storm, Earth the 13th experiment was conducted on Earth, and she was transported into the future. Yeah, so that does confirm like at least the last bit for now. You have to go through this like one by one first. And in the fall, it's not like she escaped like right after. It's more so she escaped the Amber Room 2 storms after that experiment.
yeah.
I think that's what I remember anyway.
Yeah,
So she escaped in 1913 and became Marta also. So and because of the lack of manpower, the project was shut down and the laboratory was deserted. And I keep thinking, why would they leave all these documents in the Amber Room? And I came to like two conclusions. One, they they were simply just thinking that they can go back because you know this information was very private, so and only limited to like very few people. So my initial guess was that okay, sure, they'll probably just immediately go back as soon as they'll be able to locate Earth again. But no, the other idea that I had was that it was all left on purpose for Burton herself to find. So
Yeah, that was like one of the things I thought about because, like, why would you leave all of these documents lying around, not
yeah,
destroying any
mhm.
evidence? Is this for like the Hawks to like for like, hey, Burton, we're gonna make a deal and that is really good for you. We're gonna tell you where your mom is so you can join us. All that jazz in the politics.
Ha,
to be fair,
but
I feel like the higher ups are pretty unanimous on keeping it together. Like those at least in contact with the White Marble House, I think they're pretty unanimous. Yeah, we can just leave this here. No one's going to do anything about it. Only us we know about it, and no one's
mhm,
gonna like tell tale about it since we
Ransack
know.
the place.
Yeah,
yeah,
ransack the place. It's going to be
yeah,
storm. It's going to have new things on top of it anyway. And all of us who do know about it, we know how to keep our mouth shut for the better of mankind. And then Igor
yeah.
rebelled.
I mean, it's not like they didn't. It's not like they knew that it was going to like be replaced with anything. They know that like the general area that they made the Amber Room, it's a immunity zone even. So like
Yeah.
they knew that nothing is going to happen to it. They just need to keep their mouths shut for a while until they can figure out what to do with it. But that does come to an interesting point because the Amber Room was shut down. But then I left out like one very specific detail, and it's like this specific detail is something that I generally theorized about when I first read about Igor's lines, which was like this specific scene in chapter 4. You
Mm-hmm.
know when the president came back from the from the Pax house and was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"I need to tell you something to Constantine," and whatever information that the president passed over, it it gave Constantine the idea that maybe she does need to like pass the storm bill, which
Mm.
because at first Constantine was like, no, I don't think this bill should pass anyway. the status quo needs to be kept because what if the arcanists that Vertin brings in are rebel or something? But after the information that the president passed us over, she just thinks, okay, maybe this will work in Vertin's favor. But why? No one like that's like one of the few things that I always thought about since reading chapter 4 was that what exactly
Yeah, we don't have
the
context.
we have no idea what the president told Constantine, but they started working closely together ever since his return and everything. But what my theory is just that maybe this was when the Amber Room was shut down and they found out that Herb escaped. I think
Yeah, it might be.
the Pax House being aware of Herb and Vertin's like general nature, they were like, you know what, give Vertin the opportunity to like explore and try to find Herb herself. Maybe that was the decision they made. That's why the Storm Reformation Bill was passed. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, see what happens from there. Oops. But anyway, yeah. After that, after was it the 8th or 9th storm, Igor deserts, and then we don't hear anything about him for like the next 3 chapters. No, chapter 10 doesn't exist. Chapter 10 doesn't exist. But then we go back to chapter 11, the end of chapter 11, where Paris and Vertin meet, and Paris just goes, "Hey, I have something for you. I have information that you probably need, right?"
Hey, girly pop.
And yeah, apparently, many of the members of the committee don't know what exactly is the Amber Room project about, or like the exact, like all the details about it. They just know that it's a thing, and they just need to keep
I
it
guess.
shut. Yeah, it exists. They know like a general idea that it exists, but they have no idea what it's meant for.
Yeah, like what
it's
it is.
Interesting.
I think that's kind of
it's
insane. Like
interesting.
even like as high as someone's a committee member, you could be working for like 7 years in an institution, and you could still be like dog shit, like what you know.
They would know everything.
I don't even think Madame Z knew, right?
Yeah, Madame Z was not very aware of why Burton was going to Belgrade in the first place.
Yeah, she's just like, okay, just be careful of what you're going to do after this, because this could be really bad on the politics side, which I am responsible for. So like, watch yourself.
Watch yourself, please. So yeah, now we have chapter 12, where we just go back to chapter 12, where Vertin and Igor strike a deal and travel to the defunct Amber Room in Belgrade, which is where everything fucking happens. Which is where this really funny thing happens, where Vertin enters.
It was cinema.
Cinema was just funny. It's just funny in hindsight because Vertin just enters the room and just immediately sees her mom on the chair. But like in the next moment, she's outside. She's outside with, Soneto and Marcia. Apparently she's been down there for 12 fucking hours somehow.
Jesus.
Time
dilation.
Time dilation. Sucks. But, how do I go about this? Like, what is the general... How do I generally go about this? Because, we have the recap. We have everything that needs to be said. But there are so many things that have been left unsaid. Like, what is the general process of the vessel installment experiment and what exactly happened to Earth afterwards?
Yeah. Also, how did he escape? That's, I don't think, the Pax House security, with the name Big Security on it, is gonna be easy to escape, even if you are an escapist.
To be fair, this like a security council part is kind of like a taken from the similarly named UN Security Council. They don't actually they're not actually like a security firm and all that. It's more so for like
Oh, so what?
yeah, it's more
What
so
do
for
they
like
do?
securing the peace of the world.
Oh, like
Yeah,
laws and stuff.
Yeah,
lawful
Oh,
and then like
security.
intervention if need be, and doing necessary actions, sending aid and all that. And yeah,
so like hiring Igor just doesn't actually do anything with the security. Like, just can just like slip out of the lab when she wants to, I guess.
yeah. Like, how do you do that? How do you
Uh,
let a blind woman slip past you?
Yeah, how the fuck?
to be fair,
Like,
even
do we have a spy? Do we have a spy somewhere who knows of the Amber Room? And just like, okay, you know what? This feels really wrong. Let's just let you escape a random lady they're experimenting on.
yeah, it's like, hmm, very curious to know how the fuck Earth escaped. But we also have to understand something very specific happened to her within those following storms. But Igor didn't really explain what it was. Really?
For next
So,
chapter, maybe.
yeah, that's probably for next chapter anyway.
I gotta
So,
be
yeah,
patient.
so we all have like the very essential details down.
Mm.
What we just don't know is that what the process is, what Erd exactly did there, and what happened to her, and whether or not this will be like going into like the up more, whether or not it will like be further explored through the Pax House in the next chapter or events that follow.
Mm.
But it's also thinking about it. There's also the the laboratory itself, where it was made an immunity zone. But how? Because you wouldn't know how to make an immunity zone by yourself unless you're in a
I'm
kind of
assuming that
anything.
immunity zones are like more from either actually incantations, which is would be really weird considering
Yeah.
like the early plot is like trying to figure out how to like be immune to the storm. But the
Mm-hmm.
other part is just it's a naturally spawned immunity zone.
Yeah. It probably is. It's possible that the immunity zone in Belgrade was just like very random, like the far east branch, the Placettes area.
I feel like it has probably has like something to do with some of the lore that has been scattered in like the story, like some of the events, because
Yeah.
even like Elizabeth mentioned that some of the stone statues of the I think like Melusine, they are still stone even like after being stormed, because they are just really old. They're just like not affected
Uh,
by the
yeah,
storm
they've
or
been
being
there
reversed
the
at
entire
all.
time. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this is part of like essence theory, and not in a sense of people, but in a sense of locations. Is that
Mm,
what
Oh.
do you think the essence of a place is? So take for example Cremona, like the city of violence. It will always have that essence. It will always be known as a city of violence ever since the time of Stradivarius. And as
mm,
such, no matter how many times you get stormed, will always be the city of violence. It's just that the other parts not lacking in essence, like the specific family, the specific church, the way that it's built, the things that it's not known by a lot of people. That's going to be
yeah.
forgotten and washed away by the storm. But the
Yeah, that's
essence,
gonna be really
Mm,
according to essence.
yeah,
Like, but in like
yeah.
concept artist term, it would be like the concept stays the same, but the recontextualization will be like changed in the
Yeah.
settings with the settings basically.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What does make me curious though is that okay, the Amber Room was created after the storm, but somehow it became an immediate zone because it's specifically underground. You have to like dig through a church also just to be able to like reach the metro
And
station
it's a
that
metro station.
The metro station wasn't
Exactly.
even originally there.
Yeah.
It was from the 80s era too. So it just makes me think what exactly made it an immunity zone, or what exactly exists there that causes it to become an immunity zone anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that will be answered in the future, I guess.
God, this reminds me of the movie that 3.2 was referenced on As Above and Below, because they went underground into like the catacombs, and it's basically like Dante's Inferno. That it's basically purgatory, and like things that happen in your mind doesn't change unless you willingly let yourself be vulnerable and accepted it. It was like
Yeah.
pretty much with according to the essence,
Mm.
and it has like the
Much.
immortality zone and all that jazz too.
Yeah. Well, we'll just quickly go through like all the things that I do want to talk about. What I also want to talk about was what I mentioned earlier, the exact process of the vessel ensoulment experiment, which, while we don't exactly know the details of the process, what I can gather, at least, is that um, a very, like, any sort of variant that becomes an anomaly, or just about anyone actually, can be like a target for this kind of experiment, because what is very essential in this experiment is that it's vessel ensoulment. You're putting a soul within a very specific vessel, a very specific soul for a vessel. Sure, um, the vessel itself already exists as a person, but you want to find like a specific soul for it and put it there, and that's
When
what
you
they
talk
do.
about like so like vessels and stuff, I'm just thinking about like Miss Stranger. It's like that's basically what she is. It's like, were you experimented, girl? Like,
Girl, it's like
were you experimented? And they just like stuff you like a bunch of souls into you.
maybe, but
Could be.
I'm a stranger back. Oh my god. Maybe she can do a massive lore drop and I'd be so happy regardless of whether or not
Look,
it's bad.
imagine she was the one who like had like helped Earth escape, and that's why she's just so sad that oh no, she has to like go and capture Earth again. This is the irony here.
God, again.
Damn.
It's just like
Very
oh
interesting.
no, Earth escape.
Yeah. At least at least what I can understand from like the process. There's something that they did with the marble chair and with and the room itself, and with how is it? How do I say this? When pressing that specific chair in that specific setting, um you um you suffer like a myriad of symptoms, I think, because a lot of, according to Igor, a lot of the other experiment subjects, they came out like very hollowed out and they eventually died off. But in Earth's case, if it works, um you you like go get sent like far beyond reality, and the other um possible vessels, the possible souls of like every other vessel, of every incarnation that follows, they all get like merged together into like the original soul. Because if we're to understand the essence theory, you're like these these incarnations are likely fragments or pieces of the original form. So they get pieced together, although unstable, it sends them into the future, and then you have like this moment here. So pretty much, you just the as I said, the entire goal of this project was to just try to merge these fragments together, put them into like this one vessel, into this one face, and try to see if it's possible that these can hold together to form the original form of a person from the original timeline.
Yeah.
So
So like I have a question, just like in relation to this, like if Earth has like she gets storm every now and then, but like still she kind of maintains some part of herself. And then there's Burton who's like completely immune. Is that supposed to be because of the experiment they had going on, like that was mentioned in the introduction chapters, or why is it like that? We still don't know.
I mean, I theorize that it might be because of the general nature of both of their characters.
Like there needs to be an
Such-
anchor for them to not be swept away by the storm, and we don't know what is that anchor yet.
There's just happens to be a lot of theories about it, and right now the most solid
we kind of have no
theories-
answer.
I have no answer. We just have like solid theories for now. And at the moment, the most the theory with the most weight, or it has like the leading it has like the most leading evidence is that okay, it's probably because it has to do with their roles as like fate weavers, or just like the fates. Mostly because Vertin being based on the present, she's like a constant, right? And you know, because the present is constant, it doesn't change anything. Anything you do to it, it doesn't change. But then we have who, based on the past and everything, you can everything that happened, everything that already happens, that she is like a collection of that. And if there is no future, then there is no past, and it's split into fragments instead. So in relation to the storm, that's why many times most of her appearance, most of her nature is consistent, but it's very fragmented. She feels very lost because there's no past without the future anyway. Sure, the present is constant, but the past isn't.
Typically we do have like the known of the future, but that is something you need to be doing the ARG for.
Yeah, we have no idea who exactly embodies all yet. Sure, we have.
Honestly, I have like a theory. I have a theory that it's basically just the player. Because look, because of the people who solved the ARG basically got a glimpse of like the future, but they just don't know it yet. They just don't know what it means yet, because it hasn't happened yet. Including the a music note that one of the Thai reverse fandom member decipher. Up until now, we still don't know what that music sheet was used for. We still don't know.
We still don't know.
Like, God damn it!
So,
what is this? Trying to like crack the code so bad.
We're still trying to figure it out. I think we'll just get answers like in the near future. Probably anniversary.
Yeah, probably.
Probably anniversary.
God, I don't want to think about what the anniversary would have for us, like for this for an episode of that.
Yeah, true. I'm scared, honestly. But yet, but other than that, I think this is most of what I can at least say about the Amber Room, because there really isn't a lot. At least in this,
we need to wait. We need to wait for more lore.
We need to wait because this is just a very fresh introduction to like a new piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So we got the Hoffman knot. We have the spinning wheel, or at least we already located Erd, but now we have the Amber Room. So now, we just have to wait and see what else they have to say. So yeah, that mostly just concludes my part.
Yeah.
I would like to like further expand this, like if we're going to go back to the Amber Room once more in the future, or if we're going to have like, oh, there's multiple Amber Rooms actually.
Probably. We are probably gonna have like a character who knows about the Amber Room like soon, maybe.
Probably. Maybe.
The thing
Yeah,
is, we don't
probably.
have
I mean,
anyone else aside from like Constantine and the president.
I mean, we have
Assuming
Igor.
Constantine knows. Yeah, we already have Igor.
We have Igor. We have R9. But R9 has like very little
R19 has
idea.
no fucking clue.
There's
He
like
just knows the
clues,
title.
like-
Rios has no
Oh,
fucking
right.
clue either.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. He
about
just
it. It's like
deciphered stuff.
it's-
Yeah. They're both cool as a
Oh,
shit.
God.
Yeah, nobody knows shit.
Like before,
Constantine already knows. So like,
yeah, in Constantine, I feel like definitely knows with how like chummy they are with the president.
mhm.
Yeah.
And whatever gave her like that specific shock in her face when with what the president told her, yeah, she definitely fucking knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think aside from
Yeah.
like aside from that, I don't think we're getting anything from the Amber Room's news before we settle like the doves and the hawks as an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe we
Like-
just have like a one. Maybe we get like a wild card character that's basically like, oh yeah, I know about that. Let me tell you all about that. I was like, you know what? That sounds like something DP would do. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, probably.
And then as it
They're
turns
just
out, Utu
confused
already
them.
knows.
Oh god.
I would not
God
be surprised
fucking
that
damn it.
Atu already knows because they seem to know a lot. They know about like the storm variation before even like people like that was like in the timeline of like what the fifth after the fifth storm, I think.
Mm.
Was it the fourth or the fifth? But basically that was really early. That was even before Team High Team Bird know about like the storm variations.
Yeah. It's like there are a lot of things that are just yet to be discovered, but you have to like expect that so many people are a very specific sets of people already know what's going on. They're just not telling you.
Yeah, they're
they're
just
not telling
like, oh
Vertin.
yeah, I'm not telling you, not yet.
Just figure it out for yourself first. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll just end this here. We'll see
Yeah.
more in the future. If we see more in the future, just go back to this video. Just go back here first. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be re-explaining things like in future patches. Everything that I say here, just use it as a basis for what
We know for
for
now
whatever
in
knowledge
like
Yeah.
yeah.
3.3.
You know, whatever knowledge you can apply into the future patches, just use this as a basis. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just timelines.
yeah. Yeah, let's just move on from here, you know?
Yeah.
Let's just move on to the
Let's
next
move
part.
on from that.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, it's time for me to talk about character design on the NPCs. Well, the NPCs and basically the side characters. We have so many side characters, as you can see on my folders here. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's like subfolders too. So
Oh,
like, yeah,
To be
have
fair,
fun.
to be fair though, the NPCs were given a lot of love and highlight this chapter. Like that much, I will say.
True.
Like the most lovable
It's actually really
parts.
interesting.
Yeah, the most lovable parts, in my opinion, are like from them.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So we start from the top. We're gonna start from Ivan, and we're gonna start with his silhouettes. You can see from his silhouettes, I would say that his silhouettes are not that noticeable. It's very NPC because
Yeah, it's
of
an
how like
NPC. It's an NPC silhouette.
okay, look, it's an NPC silhouette. But you can at least see like the details on like the lower part and some of like his hair here, and then there's like the simple part here, and that is like telling the story at least that this is a big guy with a big coat, which is like not much to be telling from, but you know what, we take what we can get. And this is Simon. Here's our guy here. I would say his design is really good. As like an NPC, you know this gonna be an NPC, but he has some weight to it. in terms of like storytelling.
Yeah, at the very least, it's not like a copy pasted model and all that with no eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
He has all the
Because of
features
his
on his face.
Yeah, because of his role in the campaign's tale, this chapter, he is referenced to the Khan from Prince Igor, despite him being on like not the Khan side, because like this is more like how do you say it? It's more like they use the film Prince Igor as our reference, and they just like, okay, which character would fit this role? It's kind of like shuffling the roles and the actors on the stage, kind of like
Yeah,
that.
it's like as you like it, you know.
Yeah, basically. So with the Khan, I already explained it like, in the last episode that with the concept being reversed, it's become, instead of like Igor just like not being very not interested in the Khan's offering and stuff, it's just Igor's like begging Ivan here to be like, Ivan, please help me. Like bro is like, please form an alliance with me. Like in the movie, it's just the Khan like, look all around. Everyone has feared me. Everyone just like doesn't treat me as an ego, but you do. You don't fear me. That's why I like you. Please be my alliance. It's such a fun scene.
I'm on my knees.
Yeah, like the Khan.
Yes.
The Khan basically was going to give like Prince Igor his favorite sword, his family heirloom,
Oh,
to
it's the
Igor.
fucking
Just to like,
horse.
no, that also happened. That also happened in the film too. Like the Khan, I will give you my favorite horse, my favorite sword. Please be my friend. Like, just like
No.
please.
Man.
And Igor is just like, don't touch me.
Oh my fucking god.
It's kind of
It's so funny.
it's kind of funny that it actually a different version of this happened in the actual scene, right? In the chapter,
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
roles reversed. But
Yeah, the roles are reversed. Like, here's like my sword, here's my horse, and all the jazz. I mean, he did give, like in the chapter, he did give Igor like his horse though, so
yeah, but it's more
understandable.
like, yeah, it's more like Ego was asking for the horse, also.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
yeah, reverse the concepts and all that jazz.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
need I need a sword, with the knife being plunged into his arm to free him from the ritual.
yeah, it's just
Mhm.
like, it just went from like one-sided old man yaoi to like I guess toxic. It's just like
Yeah.
toxic devotees.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you can see like his facial design is a lot like the Khan's from like the movie, and that is understandable. Same with Igor though. Igor does look like our Igor in like some angles, I guess.
Yeah.
And now like onto
Some.
like his clothing design, which is the Don Cossack military uniform from World War One,
Oh
and you can see
yeah.
from like
Mhm.
the elements here.
He looks the
Yeah.
part, holy.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
this part, also big coat.
Big goat. Then
Big coat.
those several pens in the chest.
Yep.
Oh no, those are not pins. Those are called gazeas, and gazeas are supposed to be like ammunition basically. These are for
Yeah.
holding like ammunition, because like back in the day, especially when it's like flintlock and all that stuff, they have like paper gunpowder stuff to like
Oh, so you just fill
reload.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like bags that would reload guns more quickly. I think they changed to like ammunition. So
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
pronounced Garcia. I went to look for the pronunciation. I was
Oh.
really confused too. Like, what is this? Why do you have so many bottles or something. But no, it's just it's like part of the uniform of the Cossacks. Just like specifically the Cossacks. He also wears the sash too. You can see like the traditional sash. Not as long as like his other members, but that is understandable. You know, he is the cavalry, so that makes sense. Okay, now we're on to the next one. The next one is his subordinates, Sabina and Soki. Now look at their silhouettes. Their silhouettes are cooking. Their silhouettes are so much better than Ivan.
That's great posing. This is my first time like seeing their full bodies, and like, God, they are slaying.
Yeah.
Like look at this. This is such a nice art. Like this is such a nice art. You see like the simple side on here, and you see like more details on like the hair.
Yeah.
And also like from the wrinkles on the sleeves. Like this is such a good way to like send a message on what this character is. This is like a military uniform kind of pose.
Yeah.
And this is the guy with a gun. You can see the silhouette so clearly compared to Ivan.
Yeah.
That is just a big coat.
I mean,
God
like,
damn.
you think about it, like, the way Ivan like speaks of it in chapter, I believe 17. I think it's 17. Yeah. The way that he goes, the hope of the dawn lies with the young. So he's like fine with letting the next generation, you know, Sternova and Sergei, be like the forefront of attention while he just simply leads in the background. But at the end of the day, he just wants a more simple. I wouldn't say he wants more simpler stuff. Still wants to fight, but the ones that will be doing most of the fighting would be the ones that want to do it, just there.
Yeah, he's more like the coach, and like Sabina and Sergei are more like in the front lines, being like the athletes, basically. The coach and the athletes. We can see, like, look at this. This is such a nice color pick too. Like, look at this color pick. The green brings out so good with like the red and the warm colors. The green brings out so good. The really nice accent color.
God, Sabina.
Sabina. Oh my God. She's so fine. Okay.
Listen, I'm not going to fall for another military commander, okay? I already have one.
Oh my God. Okay, so their uniforms are, of course, their uniforms are, of course, from like the Cossack military uniform from World War One, as you can see with the colors and everything. They just have like the green not on the pants instead. They just have like on the coat, which is a lot more cool.
I love how it's very consistent, like all the uniforms are at the very least consistent. So you know that they're not from the same group.
Yeah, the uniforms are really like they did research, you know, they did research on the uniform, but they also added something that is more cultural, like the sash, which is the Cossack sash, the war sash, and you can see like the knot being tied in the end on both sides and here.
And there's a bit of simplification.
Part that I want to talk. You can see like the tiny emblem of Xeno on like their heads.
Oh, that's cute.
I almost couldn't see that.
I still don't understand what the fuck Xeno's symbol is.
I have no idea too. I tried.
I mean, like,
I tried.
I mean, like, all of our major faction symbols are kind of fucked up. Like, Laplace, Ouroboros, sure, I can't see that, but sure, you could try to convince someone that that's an Ouroboros.
The foundation, though?
Foundation? What the fuck are you making me do? Are you making me try to do, like, a Rorschach test? It looks like a lamp.
Yeah, like, the foundation is like, this is what you should not do in local design class.
Yeah.
My teacher, my professor would not let me live if I were to design this, not a lie.
You wanna know what Xeno's symbol is? Like,
what is it? What is it?
According to some parts that I've read through like the game, so probably
is it a tortoise?
Yeah, it's a tortoise. it's canonically stated as a tortoise in Igor's character profile shit. So
Is it the tortoise? I really can't see the tortoise. The reason that I think
I
that it's
cannot see shit.
yeah,
Is this
I-
supposed to be a constellation? Like, what am I looking at?
the thing is the
Yeah.
reason why Xeno are called tortoises is of course because of Xeno's paradox.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, where's the tortoise here?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just like not seeing the picture. This is like the
Mhm.
tiny version. They have like the the different bad version and the full logo version.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
I
full
have
logo
that
version is
on
like
this-
actually good.
I have that on the presentations too, so that's okay. We're gonna move on to the next one, and this is my favorite character of this patch.
Girly pop.
I love her.
No.
Her appearance in the game is so good. It's such a good way to like humanize, like especially
Yeah.
the characters. And
Yeah.
It's like the
especially,
last one
people
we
who
got.
lost from the storm.
Yeah, because the last one we got was Mr. Carson.
Yeah, it's just like it has.
It's kind of
Okay,
hard
so
to
the
like.
outfit is of course
yeah.
based on the Cossack traditional clothing, and
Mhm.
there's like a part that I didn't add here is that this part is the pendant. The pendant has like a pattern of a rose. I still don't know what that is supposed to significant, but maybe that's like a character thing that I don't know yet.
Oh yeah. Oh, it probably is actually. Doesn't she like?
She mentioned like doing gardening, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, she particularly like roses, if anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I remember she
Yeah.
planted flowers, so I just don't remember which flower was it.
they were roses according to Ivan. So
Okay. Okay, so and another part would be the patterns. And yes, this I brought the Moria skill part to this too
Oh my
because
god.
the reason why I had to brought this in because the pattern itself I went to look up and research on it. It's a geometric embroidery patterns. Most call them the rhombus, which is basically 5 diamond shapes. It's supposed to be
Oh.
symbolizing femininity, strength, and the sun, and fertility also.
Oh my
Alright,
god! I
So
think work for this for months. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah,
but like
I'm trying to do this for months.
I know
yeah,
that
you're
this
not
is going to be
supposed
released
to be
in
looking.
April, but like
Yeah.
we're recording this in March. Happy Women's Month.
Yes,
Oh my
Happy Women's Month.
Everyone's mom. Bro, I've been
So
trying to
yeah,
look about this pattern. Yeah, I've been trying to find
you-
this pattern for months because of my beard. Oh my god.
yeah, I know you. I think you're looking for it in like jewelry or something, but it's supposed to be look on in embroidery. It's specifically
No, I
in
was-
embroidery.
I was looking through like the embroidery shit. It's just like I didn't look into it enough because
Oh,
I was reaching like a bunch of dead ends when I was researching
Ah.
about Motor's character design last time. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so like I went to
Different
look
things.
at it, but like in Google Translate use the the language. English is not gonna help you, okay? You can use the mother language and it will help.
yeah. Okay. Doing that next time.
So that's why this is the reason why I think it's fitting that Galena gets the patterns of like the sun with how much people around her like circle around dependent on her, like many students because she was like a teacher also. Mordir,
Mhm.
that is also fitting for Mordir. That is very fitting for Mordir actually for having this symbol like all over her skill, considering she is the son of the family, like actual son planet wise. Because every single person in the family Griffin region just gravitates towards Mordia. not gonna lie, Ecos dies. Maybe there's gonna be a dent in like the morale, sure, but Mordia's
Yeah.
gonna take
Moldier
the throne
dies.
anyways.
Moldier leaves.
Mordia dies. No.
Yeah.
Mordia
Do you
dies.
think in like
no.
the 7 hour vacation she took to like do the Regulus record thing and do stuff with Ulrich while the flood is happening? Do you think that like during that span of time, like Ptolemy just simply fucked up and everything was in chaos until Igor came back from the sanctuary?
It was like no. I remember that scene where Igor just told me that Mordia just doesn't return to us. And Mordia and Ptolemy's face is just like, did she betray us? Like his face was just like, no, oh no.
Oh
He
god.
panicked.
Oh god, things are already fucked up as it is without her.
Oh yeah.
So many things are so also that's fucked up because like one the eldest daughter is not here. The one in charge of the family.
And like the
Okay.
moment she came back, you could probably imagine that he made like a heavy set of relief or something like that.
Yeah.
So
And
stupid.
we're just like, oh my god, Mordia's back. Everything is all good.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, like they didn't even mind that she helped Ulrich. Like, yeah, okay, thank
Yeah,
God
they
you're
don't
back.
mind.
We forgive you. Don't worry about it. Just don't do that again.
Yeah, like Mordia can like have a little bit of side quest. That's totally fine as long as she comes back.
Yeah.
Everyone is okay with it.
And like by don't do that again, they mean leaving them, not helping Laplace. They're fine with the helping of Laplace. Just don't leave them again.
Yeah.
Basically abandonment issues.
Uh,
Okay, now we go into the most playable silhouette design ever. Literally,
yeah.
this silhouette is like, it's like almost going to be a playable now.
Yeah,
look
like
at
any
this.
day now. Like, come on, do you really want to do this part of the
Any day,
presentation? You're gonna have to redo it when she becomes playable eventually.
No, don't worry. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, really.
They're going to do a revamp on her sprite anyway, so like, might as well.
Yeah, or
Might
like
as well. So
the
like,
thing is, this might be like another Ulrich scenario where like you know,
they just change it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is like with Ulrich, he originally appeared in chapter 7, become popular with the fandom, got a redesign, and that redesign became his base model. You know, could also be the case with Meryl, in where become first introduced in BC in chapter 10. People apparently loved her. She got a redesign. That redesign might be her I0.
Yeah.
I really like how like you can see from like her silhouette that man this screams like a pilot because you can see like a bit of like her goggles here on this side, like a little bit, and you can see like a little flap of like hard capes, and you just feel like this is like a hoodie, and just like is this like a either a spellcaster or like a pilot, which is understandable with how she take control of the aircraft. And I love her color palettes. Her color palettes are so good.
Like even before with her previous skin, like it is so good. Like the touch of purple or lavender. I don't know what colors are. Is it lavender?
Yeah, it's kind of like a shade of lavender.
Okay, good.
I really like it because it goes with her blonde hair, and it goes with all the gold accents too. Now we're gonna do the thingamajig that we always do.
Muriel Vanderveer.
Yeah, full name Muriel Vanderveer, and as we some of you probably know, Muriel's mean blackbird, like her code name. Vanderveer though, Vanderveer's mean from the fairy, which is understandable with her character now being like with Karen.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I also brought Karen here. Look at this! Look at this! It's this bird!
He's there!
This bird right here!
He's helping him find like souls.
Yeah.
He's doing gravekeeping stuff.
Yay!
Now Now I'm gonna talk about some of her designs. This is like the parts that I got confused a lot because I couldn't find like the patterns on her inner clothes this much, but I can see that it's like took inspiration from like Dutch traditional clothing because of her name is written in Dutch, both Merle and Vanderveer. So we're gonna guess that she's from Netherlands. And this is and also I took a screenshot of the foundation lore, which is the crisscross lace, which is symbolizing obedience. This you can only find on Miss Morsan's item description. You cannot find it anywhere else. I tried. I really tried, man.
We're back in the building again.
Yeah, we're back in the goddamn building again. But like, you know what? She's a foundation character. She needs to have something that is designed based on the foundation. Now on to the next one, and that is her belt here with some binoculars.
I was about
In
to say
terms of, like, the
goggles. What's
belt-
wrong with me?
Oh,
top. So like this is in the Dutch traditional clothing. They wear short corset, and this is like a stylized short corset in making into a belt and more functional stuff for like the binoculars. And the binoculars are a little fun fact. Binoculars was in terms of like history was invented by a Dutch lens maker first.
oh.
The first telescope and lithography. So like if we are going for like concept, both of like her binoculars goggles can be like concept for Dutch history. If that did happen, I have no idea what's a playable character is gonna be like. It's gonna be a theory corner, everyone. And yeah, the Dutch lens maker has lithography developed the first telescope, and then it was soon improved by Galileo. We all know that guy. Okay, now going to the next foundation character. We all love her. Especially this chapter. She has
She's
lot
great.
to say in this chapter.
She's
She's
amazing. Like, I would really argue, like, among the entirety of Team Timekeeper so far, I think that she is the one that has the most profound impact on Burton before the formation of the actual team.
Yeah. Like if Saneto is like the OG, then it really all follows after, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, in chapter 4, Burton did not trust Saneto. He trusted Lilia. That's the thing.
I mean, this is
She
kind of
trusted-
drunk.
Yeah, she
The young age.
trusts her more because like she's the more rebellious one. She's the one that's like takes no shit. Really. She knows what she's doing.
I really like the silhouette for her. You can see like the simple side here, you can see the more detailed side, and you can also see her key, like from the silhouette, which is really good. And this is the silhouette design that screams flying witch. Because of the hat, the pointed hat. This is such a good character design just to go with her concept as the flying witch. Like, look at this. It's so good. It's a lot better than her default design.
Yeah, definitely.
It's such an improvement, honestly.
She still got a fucking shorts though, Jesus.
Yep, she's still
Give
got
her
the short.
pants, Blue Block. Wear pants.
Yeah,
Now we
wear
see,
pants
like,
like
the
you're
hat.
soaring thousands of miles in the air. Like who knows how scratched up your legs are gonna be, like Jesus.
True.
Yeah.
We have
Like
Air Force
Jay
goggles
wears
still.
jeans.
Like,
Jay wears jeans in order to do like motorcycling. You don't.
and like you can see like the hat here in a pointed hat. You can see like the shape is like a wish hat shape basically. It's really good. The silhouette design on this one is really good. I was like, damn, this is how you modernize the wishes and make them like Air Forces.
Yeah.
And these are the foundation elements we have. We have the badge and we have the checkered pattern still because foundation. And despite her being Xeno. I'll go with this one. Yes, this is the key of SUB.
Don't
It
bother.
changed. I don't think it changed a lot. They just like flip it, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
it
maybe
remains the
he got a
same.
new sticker. I don't know. This is an important character item, so they have to like add it, and also they add it in the silhouette so you can see from the silhouette. It's so good for like
Yeah.
reading the character.
That being said,
Okay,
though,
foundation done.
as like a character designer, is it the
Mhm.
future garment or future alter?
Ouch, maybe. I don't know. But like, I feel like with reverse, with the setting they are, the alter can either be like, oh, this character got storm as fuck, or character development. Really depends.
One of the two.
The thing is that we already have the form root Carson.
That's true.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna talk about public enemy number 2. Number 1 was Igor.
We
I
have
didn't add,
shithead
like,
1, we have
his-
shithead 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, she said
for
2.
someone, for a character who is voiced by the same voice actor as Scaramouche from Genshin, I expected
Oh.
that.
Oh
Like
wow, that
motherfuckers
is-
getting typecast.
Yeah, you know what? Understandable.
Yeah.
So Ptolemy with the name meaning, well, like his name is in Greek, and we don't know if he's supposed to be based on Ptolemy, the successor of Alexander the Great, or Ptolemy the mathematician. Probably Ptolemy, the successor of Alexander the Great. In his case, Ego is probably Alexander.
The thing is, he's
Oh.
not fucking succeeding the family, okay? I think it's very clear who's succeeding the family.
Yeah, he is not succeeding after Ego. I don't think so. It's not
He's
gonna
not
happen.
succeeding shit.
It's
He
really
is
clear.
not.
Even like, you know, Igor's like at the end of the chapter, he's like, well, dear, if something happens to me, command is all to you. So
You
and
know,
also
have
Yeah,
fun
he-
with that.
He's my inheritance, basically.
My will,
Yeah.
everything belongs to you.
Yeah, favorite daughter for real. Now
Yeah,
look
where
at
is the
emblem
fucking
of sea.
turtle? Where's the turtle?
Yeah,
the
I
turtle.
cannot see it too. Okay, I mean maybe this is yeah. I tried, man. Can't do this time.
I hate these fucking
Uh,
graphic designers.
Graphic design is my passion. I tried. I tried.
insert the sticker here, like the really shitty MS Paint star saying
Amazing.
you did it.
Yeah, I tried. Okay, so he has the
Like, with all due
emblem on his
respect,
eye.
the artist can
Yeah.
like render embroidery and all of these fancy fabrics, have them make actually realistic, but they can't make a fucking logo to save their life.
Man.
I think they have like a concept for it. Maybe there's like a very specific way that okay, logos needs to be very lines and dots design. The most simplistic of like designs, lines and dots. And it's just like, there's probably like something for that when they design.
Yeah, and they have like
Or it's
lines
just a
and
really
dots
bad
and all
choice.
that, and they also like inhaled a few tons of crack while they're at it.
Yeah, probably. Now, the next part is he has equestrian's boots. Yep, that explains him. He's a horse girl, just like his dad. And just,
The
yep,
entire family are all horse girls.
It
The
runs in
entire
the
family's
family.
yeah, I know. The entire family is like horse girls.
Yeah, they would love
They were
Uemusume.
raised by Igor.
Mhm.
Okay. So like a little something I want to talk about that is I think is really interesting in terms of like character writing for Ptolemy here. Like, first of all, for the viewers who's listening, first of all, I need you to know that I am a Mordia fan. So naturally, I would read everything about her, including her relationship with her family. And when I was like reading about Ptolemy, besides like how he's like portrayed in the story in chapter 8, which is not great, he's basically like such a villain guy. Dot PNG.
Yeah, like
Such
a
a villain
very
guy. Dot
evil
PNG.
person, very evil person, I mean, sadistic and all that usual stuff. You know,
Yeah,
very
but then
evil words that get
like,
killed in PV.
yeah,
Bro.
because of me being me, I cannot just like watch the story and like conclude that, oh, this is his character. I need to read about it too. So I went to read his boss description, and his boss description surprises me because I thought it was like, huh, I didn't expect this. I thought this guy was like a one-dimensional villain, you know. Okay, let me read. Like, Ptolemy, Sentinel officer, a Sentinel officer known for his ruthless methods. Despite that, he cares deeply about his soldiers. Although he lost his eye in an Arcanum accident, he remains a staunch Arcanist advocate. I did not expect him to care about his soldiers, basically. I thought he would be the type who, like, yeah, charge him right in and have his soldiers die, just like in what happened in 3.3 here.
Yeah.
It's just like, he actually does care, but like in like 3.3, that was his, like, you know, number one enemy. So that's why he just has no rhyme or reason. Just from
Yeah, he comes.
it's like a phantom pain for him. Just like thinking he's like a Krutov is like in the forest, basically.
Yeah, like basically it's just emotions
He's
running
a bit
wild.
reckless. Yeah, he's a bit reckless in this chapter, but like when seeing
I mean,
this
like, would you
description,
blame
it's
him?
like, exactly.
It's your
That's the guy
biggest
that
op.
blinded him. Bruh.
Yeah. Look, I would blame Ptolemy for a lot of things, especially the things that happened to Anjonala. But I wouldn't blame him if he started like doing something so irrational as like having all of his brother die because he just
Yeah.
wanted to kill Krutov so bad.
Bro.
Yeah, he got rage baited. It's fine.
Yeah. So like, okay, on to like another part that we get to see a little of Ptolemy, and we have like a flashback with Mordia when he was injured, first like injured with his eye, saving Krutov from like Krutov trying to fake his death.
Yeah.
And I did not expect Ptolemy to, like, you know, also refer to Mordia as Molly. I thought that was just a, you know,
Yeah, just
Lopera thing.
Lopera. Everyone in
I
the
thought
family
it was just
apparently
Lopera
does.
thing. Yeah. So like, I want you to like pay attention to this because you cannot see Ptolemy calling Mordia Molly ever, like in general, but
Yeah.
only when he's like very vulnerable, he will start like using like childhood nicknames.
Yeah.
Like, it's like come to the part where I think he's a lot like Ego in a way, where he doesn't show his weak side at all, and the only person in this family they're allowed to show a weak side to is just Mordia, and the writer chose to like express this by having them calling Mordia Molly. And there's also like a scene with
Yeah. I was about to say Igor calls her that as well.
Yeah, so like I thought it was just a Lopela thing, you know, because Lopela is she's more open to vulnerability. She's more expressive. She's
Yeah.
not like that brainwashed by the military, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So that's why, at the very least, everyone here in this family has Mordia as a way to show them their vulnerability. And that is why I said if Mordia dies, Jesus Christ,
This
this
family
entire
falls
legion
apart,
is
huh?
gonna crumble.
But
Okay.
yeah, like,
Now,
Ptolemy is definitely one person that you have to interact with, like in a narrative perspective, because as much as there is a reason to go further in depth with Igor's character, I think there's also a reason to go further in depth with Ptolemy's character, because more than anything, Ptolemy's character represents every other nameless, faceless soldier in Igor's army. And if you refuse to interact with who Ptolemy is, and what he represents, and what he has become over the years, because you have two soldiers that are named in the Igor's army that are not Moldir and Lepera, that is very fundamental to how Igor runs things, which is Ptolemy, and then we have Krutov, like complete polar opposites. And if you don't choose to interact with the story that they're trying to say, they're not good people. With all due respect, I'm not saying that they're good people, but they're good characters, at least in chapter 2.
Like,
yeah,
you have to detach a bit of you have to stop applying the morality of these characters a bit, just a bit, so you can fully grasp the story properly, and fully
Yeah.
understand its weight and the message that it's conveying to you as the audience or the reader.
yeah. I feel like with me being the audience of enjoying the story, I always see them as characters, and I always think about, I see what the writer is trying to do here. And I think it's interesting when they started to show layers of characters one by one, and not just show the character what they are immediately, and have nothing to have me try to decipher. That would not be fun for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's a hot question. Ptolemy gonna be playable in the future or no?
Probably.
We're gonna complete the family.
You gotta
Probably, but he either is going to die because of his madness, or he's gonna be overcome that somehow and be playable.
God, I am
Yeah,
scared
see
for
what
the
happens.
Ptolemy redemption arc tweets that's gonna happen.
Bro.
Yeah,
Like
they're probably
God.
gonna talk about the brothers he lost.
Yeah.
The entire thing. I mean, technically, that is also Ego's fault. He
Yeah.
didn't order you to go die, man.
Yeah.
It's sure he can be playable, but they have to execute it correctly
Yeah.
to be able to make this.
Yeah. The thing that
Okay.
I fear most is number one, Ptolemy in the healer unit, as a healer unit.
Oh, that
For
would
the
be
family
funny.
ultimate team. That'd
That
be
would be
fucking
so
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Lopella being a healer is not enough. How
Yeah,
about
it's
another
not
healer?
enough. Put
Yeah.
Ptolemy in the healer spot. And then we're also going to rework Igor so that he also works with Ptolemy specifically. And
they
then
would,
yeah, that's number one. Number two, Ptolemy is going to have a live 2D rework.
I mean, that's the
that is understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
similar.
is understandable.
Imagine he ends up slaying Moldir.
Oh my
You know what? They're probably gonna have his chest open for the shirt, because that is the one thing
No.
I see. Besides the big coat over the shoulder, Igor, every kid in Igor's army just has a very deep deep collared shirt. Okay, man.
The thing is that I want to counter that by saying that he has an hourglass figure.
Because he has a waist.
An extreme hourglass figure. I think even with the brace, that hourglass figure cannot be ignored. Could you go back to the sprite for a second? Could you go back to the sprite for a second?
Okay.
With all due
Sure.
respect, that's kind of fucking insane. That's an insane hip to waist ratio, okay? Hip to waist to shoulder ratio.
The
I'm
man's not
sorry.
straight.
I don't wanna. Yeah, he has long ass legs. He is a slim motherfucker. With all due respect, I don't. I don't want to simply throw like the word twink out so easily because we have so many characters that are characterized as twinks, okay? That are actually not twinks. But that body's
He's
kind of
like in
fucking
between
absurd.
twink
Yeah, it's
or
a
have
bit
like
in
some
between,
muscle.
but
Yeah.
there's definitely some leaning over to twink. Like maybe he's a bit
Yeah,
built
he's
under all of that. Who knows? But I can't
he's
see him
slightly
getting a deep
better
V cut,
than
okay?
the average Genshin body type. You know, he's slightly better.
Yeah, like he's a bit built. He's definitely a bit built. But God, I cannot ignore that hourglass figure. I'm sorry.
It's the
think
goddamn
it's
voice,
another
the kind of
point.
voices and the belt. I don't know why they chose that. You know what? Fan service probably.
It's
Now
a
we
point.
go to
This
his
point.
number one enemy. We just
His
go to
biggest
his
op.
number one-
Because
Yeah, time to go to the number one enemy. You can see Kristoff,
so-
and he is
Oh.
such an NPC guy. I
He
don't
is
even
so
want to
fucking
do,
NPC coded. Like, must his ass was really going, I'm gonna be immortal, bitch, you're still in NPC jail. You're in NPC
Yeah,
design
you're
jail.
NPC.
shut up, man. It's like
Yeah.
in essence, everything about him screams, "Shut up!" Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Now here's the reference for his uniform, which is the Russian military uniform from World War One. As you can see, he has the winter coat one. By the way, this is a winter outfit. I didn't have that here.
Oh, because
And
he holds the
so-
winter. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now we can have his boss form too, because I actually like his boss form. His boss form has more flavor than his NPC form. I
Yeah, all of the
swear.
budget went to the mask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you went to the boss form, you see like everything he touches has turned into winter. Nothing will grow. This is the golden famine right here. It's just like, oh, that's the symbolism. And then you get like to see his second boss form where he has like a giant mouth and people trying to like grab like the golden weeds off his like face. And he's basically just eating the land dry, and that's why there's no more snow and just like a drought, just hunger and
Straight up
famine.
land.
This greedy
Yeah.
motherfucker.
It's a good
Yeah,
boss
and it's
design. I just wish it lasted a bit longer.
True.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna come back anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
go on
mean,
Main's bulletin, isn't it?
Yeah, main bulletin.
So- Honestly, I hope so.
Yeah.
Honestly, but
We can beat him up
Honestly.
again.
Yeah, so real.
Time to beat him up.
I was thinking, remembering this boss design. Sure, granted, it's supposed to be more interesting than like the base character, but also I keep every single time I see this boss, I am reminded of every single time I've seen someone say "Hear me out" over this boss design.
Oh my
Please.
fucking god.
Remember this.
I mean, look, I feel like that's like every time there's a new boss design, the fandom goes, "Wait, hear me out." It's just like there's gonna be one motherfucker that's like, "Go, wait, hear me out. Don't boo with me."
I mean, like, with all due
Don't fool me
respect, the
just
brain
yet.
security robot,
Oh,
Okay.
Kumar boss form,
no.
Stop.
convergent mind.
Okay, you know what? Let's go to Rachel list.
I was about to say, like, the reason why Igor doesn't love Krutov is that he doesn't have like an exceedingly stupid amount of belts on him. Like, with all due
There's
respect,
no
I'm
fair
seeing a
reason.
pattern, you know? Lepera, only one belt, got left behind in Sao Paulo. Krutov, only one belt, rebelled from Igor. I'm just saying.
It's just the number of belts, and Moje just has like a bunch of belts.
Yeah.
Yes,
Morlier,
about-
too many belts.
Rough.
Oh. Okay, now.
Okay, but like,
Okay. We're going to the mean menace baddie of this chapter, and she is interesting. As in, she doesn't really have that much mean,
Yeah,
but
because she doesn't have a
is
name.
Definitely the big bad, like the actual big bad that isn't Krutov. Krutov is just like the one having the driving force to do stuff.
I feel like she and like Stanova for both the characters that got everyone's attention this chapter. It's like,
True.
every single time.
Everyone's just like, wait, they kind of
Yeah.
Yes,
play.
I open a channel in like the official Discord. I see the ritualist and I immediately expect them to say, "Okay, hear me out, though."
Yeah, she might be bad, but like, if you consider that she's a baddie specifically.
Exactly. It's like,
She got the lipstick. She
Fuck,
got the blue
God.
eyeshadow. By the way.
Yeah. Like, I just remember the whiplash from seeing one of my oomphs. Like, go ahead and tweet, Ritualist X Animus Old Woman Yuri.
Jesus.
no. Sorry, bed. Stop.
Okay. Okay, we come back to the character design analysis. I'm pretty sure her like design is supposed to be from like the Balkan regions, because I remember this headway design from when I was like researching for 3.1. And I was like, I guess she's from the Balkans? Question mark. We don't really know her origin. Usually we know from like the language they speak, or especially the incantations they cast. But in Ritualist's case, she doesn't cast incantations verbally. You like need to understand a bit in terms of like reverse universe. There's like the people who cast incantations verbally, and there's the people who cast incantation non-verbally, which usually are more the pure blood side, like Juvis. Juvis doesn't cast incantations verbally. Miss Mossman also doesn't cast incantations verbally. I was surprised too. But like for like the children, such as like Sotheby and very younger children, they have to cast incantations verbally. I'm assuming it's because of their expertise in controlling Arcanum is not that high yet. Yeah. I'm assuming. I don't know. This is a theory. I have a really long time.
I mean, like, maybe similarly to like how there are multiple divination mediums, go back to and see those divination presentation in episode 4. There are also going to be different ways of casting it in the same way. Like, there's verbal, there's somatic, there's material. I'm taking from D&D terms, okay?
I mean, understandable, because ritualist is more terms on, actual ritual on the site.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Rituals
and I feel like, this is like a theory I had a really long time, that we never seen any awakened cast incantations. That's the thing. We have never seen any of them cast incantations verbally, and I think that might have to do with how pure they are to like the arcanum essence. I think.
Yeah.
Like the more pure you are, the less you're gonna need like language
because
to
because of like
your arcane energy. Yeah.
Yeah, because of like the nature of awakens being literally like awakened.
Yeah,
they're literally an arcane construct.
They are pure. Yeah, they are pure arcane energy basically, and that's why you don't see awakens casting verbal.
Oh yeah, because like I remember White Rum didn't need any worth of incantation to grow her size.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that could also be the bottle. But yeah.
Yeah, true.
I also have a question. Like, wait, the following one. I have a question. I mean, considering that, the fact that the ritualist is wearing Balkan headwear, do you think that the ritualist has some form of relation to 3.1 if we're to consider that Pyros was experimented on after?
Oh.
Like, you understand where I'm going?
Oh, yeah.
Pyros was mutated in a very specific manner. And you see
like, the
vampires that he infected. All the vampires he's infected, they're also mutated. As in, they're going insane. So, like, what if it's the ritualist,
I mean,
the attire,
I feel like we also, but like, I feel like at that time we were focusing on like the only big menace at that time, which is like Valentina, who doesn't even show up.
Yeah.
And Pyros, we have a bit of like the documents on the experiments on turning the cells to like vampirism.
God, the
Mhm.
But
Balkans
other than
was
that, we
fucked
don't.
up. We have Valentina, Lyra, and now Ritualist all at the same place going on for Pyros.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
look, it's a big ritual site.
that's like now that I actually see what you connected the headdress to, now it makes sense that it may have been the ritualist responsible for like a lot
Yeah,
of the
it might have
things
been
that
her
happening.
project. I think it might
Yeah.
have been like a
Yeah.
project.
Like, to be
Mhm.
fair, she has a lot of projects that are pretty fucked up. Like, did you see what she did to like Charon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was fucked
uh,
up. That's an awaken, man. You're not supposed to like be able to do that.
yeah, they
Like
forced an
some,
arcane doctor
yeah,
to like open him up, literally. So,
yeah. You
uh,
made an awakened piece of. You made a. You made an awakened feel pain. That's kind of fucked up.
well, and
Yeah,
you're still
that's like
standing for him. You still
imagine
stand
like
for
being
him.
able to like I don't know, hurt the essence itself. That's what does that say about like normal people?
Mm.
Okay, a lot of
Yeah.
questions, a lot of theories. We have no real canon conclusions, but like it's good brainworms, for discussions. And now we're gonna move to the fun part that is the minigame. Whee!
Oh boy.
We're gonna do minigame. We're gonna do minigame.
Either Adeline.
And if nobody knows who this is Adelheid, and she is Marsha's mom.
Is
Well,
that how
no,
you
more
pronounce
like
it?
Marsha's. Yes, Adelheid.
Adelheid. I've been saying
Yeah,
Adelheid.
Adelheid. Yeah, Adelheid. And she's the one who adopted Marsha when she was dying in the snow.
Freezing to death.
TLDR. Yeah. So, Deimos, I know that you have watched Marsha's character story. How
Yeah.
can you list off the characters in Marsha's Night Order,
Marsha's Knight. The Hawkland Order.
including Marsha herself?
So you have Marsha, you have Adelheid.
That was supposed to be my answers.
Yep.
There are... How many? There are supposed to be 4 that are mentioned.
Yes.
So, let me think. It was Adelheid, it was Marsha, Hildegard. And it's also the Grandmaster. The name is on the tip of my tongue at the moment.
Herman.
Yeah, Herman.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
all
So
done.
the name's gonna be up here. And
Oh god.
yes. Now you have seen the names listed here on the screen. Now we have Adelheid, Marsha, Hildegard, and Herman. What do you think is the one thing they have in common? Besides being in the Night Order Auckland Ocean? I don't know what's the pronunciation?
Hawkland.
The Highland Auckland again.
All of them have an A in their name.
No.
They're all
All of them have an H in their name.
God no. Okay, come on, you can guess it. There's like one concept. They have one concept they share.
It's like all of them are, first of all, and it's like barely related, but like all the names are in some form German based, first of all. But second of all, they're all names that you would expect to see from like medieval characters, knight characters specifically. It's like the ones
No.
that you usually see. No?
No, not
Interesting.
knights.
Not knights.
No, not knights.
But
The only
but
thing that's
medieval is
connect-
correct.
The only thing that like connecting right now is that like a balloon parties based off of Hildegard.
Okay. Okay, look. What did I tell you in the last episode about Marsha? What is she based on?
Oh, it's the fucking Red Cross Knight.
Military, yeah. Red Cross Knight.
Yeah. Red Cross Knight and
It's called
also
the dragon. Right?
Yeah.
no.
This is
The dragon is
No, the
Sentinel.
dragon. Yeah. It's same. Why can't I remember the saint
Saint
name? What the
George.
fuck? Yeah, Saint George the
Oh,
Dragon. So Saint George.
Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
if Masha is Saint George, does that mean for like the rest of the character that is related to her?
The Round
Oh
Table.
my god, the religious figures too. Shit.
What do you say, Deimos?
All the names are connected to religious figures as well, aren't they?
Yes.
To some point. Oh my god.
All of them are saints. All of them are based on
Oh.
saints.
Yeah. They're all
Can you
saints.
guess? All of them are based on saints, and what they do in Marsha's character story is based on what they are patronage of. Edelheid, what is Edelheid to Marsha?
Mother.
Yeah.
So, what you wanna guess? What she's the patron saint of?
Mother.
Hmm.
He's the patron saint of Mother.
I mean,
Patron saint of
almost.
slaying.
She's the patron saint of parenthood. Edelheid, or Adelaide of Italy, is the patron saint of parenthood, abuse victims, widows, empresses, princesses, exiles. She is mostly known as the patron saint of people who were left behind and has no one to turn to. Which really fitting with the ending of Marsha's character story. Because they regroup with the rest of the knights and basically decided the Knight Order will be reformed as like what Marsha is doing, basically rescuers what's from the war. And this is a little something that is interesting, that despite being like the patron saint and the empress of Italy, she's actually the German princess first and got married into to her husband, the emperor. And she was the first German queen to have the same status in like royalty terms as her husband, so she is referred to as the empress and not the queen. This is really understandable with why Edelheid became like the grandmaster in the end of like Marsha's character story. Marsha herself, we already know she's based on Saint George. Saint George is the patron saint of shepherds, farmers, chivalry, soldiers, equestrians, peacekeeping, and healing. This is, yeah, we have another shepherd character. We have another shepherd character. We always need one in each patch. And so here got this is like something I want you to guess a little bit. I know Deimos watched the story. What do you think is the scene that explain, at least like show Hildegard's relationship with Marsha?
Oh, it's the scene right after Marsha like recovers from the backlash of her arcane skill, right?
No, not the ice one, not the ice bucket one.
Yeah, the ice bucket challenge. Don't worry, I have the Utu I have the Utu site right up right now.
Oh
I'm reading about the ice bucket challenge right now.
I mean, but no, I don't mean that. I mean like the scene afterwards, right? She goes to see Adelheid, and no, she goes to try to find Adelheid, but she finds Hildegard first, and the other knights. So Marsha sits down with them, and she recounts like a bunch of the stories that Hildegard told her when they were kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that is the scene. That is the scene I'm talking about. Can you guess what patron saint Hildegard is supposed to be? It has something to do with what Hildegard did when they were carrying firewood together, doing chores, basically. He did something, and it really made like Marsha's like childhood, basically.
You know, in the middle of all of this, I was just like, trying to guess. I'm not well versed in religion anyway. But sorry, as a result of this, I was like, yeah, adventure. Yeah, I'll just try to see while this is all going on, right? So,
It has nothing to do with like religion and stuff. It's more has something to do with what she did in that scene, and that is because she's the patron saint of this one thing.
The card makes stories, and she makes up stories as a way to So she writes.
And can you guess? Can you guess what patron saint she is of?
The bards.
Almost.
I mean,
storytellers.
I technically have the answer right in front of me. Technically.
Okay, what's the answer?
Answer question mark.
Just spill it. Just spill it.
Just say it. Even if you're wrong, I'll still give you the answer anyways.
You're not getting any points for this. Listen. No. Have I traumatized you enough with this? Have I traumatized you enough with have I done enough?
No.
Oh my god.
Bro. Stop.
Deimos, you must accept being wrong if you are wrong. That is okay. If you get wrong, fine. It's okay.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. Sure. Is she the patron saint of the musicians and the writers? Maybe.
You look up the goddamn Wikipedia, I guess.
I did. No, it's
because it's really specific. If you were guessing, you would be guessing a patron saint of writers. She's the patron saint of musicians, writers, creativity, and ecology. He's definitely patron saint of science. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So specific.
I guess I was rather close at the bard part.
Difficult one. Is actually the most difficult one because you need. I'm gonna tell you this now. You need the scene of the painting of Marsha dubbing ceremony to understand what Herman is supposed to be in terms of when the writer starting to shift the narrative and make it about Marsha in that scene. What is Herman supposed to be the patron saint of?
Hold on,
thinking figures are turning in my head. Searching up
transcript search at utu.merui.com. Herman.
The closest I can get. It's specifically.
Alright, he died very early.
He died very early. Shut up. Anyway. Herman Joseph is the patron of watchmakers and of children and of the young, and he is also apparently a model of acolytes. Apparently.
Yeah, there's about 3 Hermans, so you need to pick one.
Yeah, specifically Herman Joseph.
Yeah, so yes, he is the patron saint of children, students, and watchmakers. So I need you to explain to me why they have to choose Herman, basically, as Herman when Herman dies, and the scene just shifts to the painting of Marsha, and the narrative starts saying that the past and the present starts to merge, and the knights start to remember their past glory and remember why they are doing all of this. Can you? This is a very specific I think character. No, not character. It's a storytelling transition. Is that they have the patron saint of watchmakers and students, and they have it transition to a window of the past that is the painting of Marsha dubbing ceremony to become a knight. This is the saint of time himself is giving you a window of opportunity in the past here. So it's a very specific choice of transition. I mean, I like the way they choose like to make the saint name like relevant to a writing language. It's still pretty good. Okay, now that we know like all the patron saints, all the characters in the Night Order being patron saints, what is the common thing they have? all four, with these four saints, what is the common thing they have?
Wait, I was like, wait.
We have to play connections here. We have to play connections.
Yeah, you have to play connections.
God damn it!
Alright, so I choose students, soldiers, equestrians, princesses. Am I one away?
No, I'm trying to ask you like, what does Saint Edelheid, Saint George, Saint Hildegard, and Saint Herman have in common? That they have to be in the Night Order in Germany. What is the one thing they have in common?
There's a. Yeah, we're gonna cut off so much. We're gonna cut off so much time with this one. I'm trying to think of like any possible answer at the moment.
I feel like their main focus is all about peace. You know. Because of course we have
except Masha. Masha is actually like the patron saint of like soldiers, as in going to war.
Yeah, you have peacekeeping under Marsha.
Yeah. That's why I said etc. Because Saint George is like a patron saint of so many things.
Yeah, but like the way I see it, abuse victims, widows for Adelaide. Yeah, like there's some kind of connection here I'm trying to make wherein like they're all being a patron saint for someone or a group of people that have been, I wouldn't say marginalized, but in a way does not have that much of a standing in the full world, and from how I'm trying to connect it, would be easy victims of the war.
So it's possible that they're knights of the people, maybe, especially when it comes to like understanding what they're based on, right?
No.
No.
I think you think too much.
No, I mean, I'm trying to remember something about the Hawkland Order. Like their main purpose is to be hospitable, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I
guess.
Wait.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
They all have an H in their name.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, look, it's fine. Look, I specifically asked what do they have in common that has something to relate to them being Night Orders in Germany. Specifically Germany. Why is it that? Because Marcha St. George is the patron saint of England. The others are German or all German actually, even though Saint Edelheid is the Empress of Italy.
Yeah, Italy, and like, but all of them are German.
Yeah.
All of them.
But Germany.
You want me to give you the answer?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not from Germany, unfortunately.
It's actually a lot more simple than you think. Is that they all have feast day celebrated in Germany.
Yeah, I don't think we could have guessed that.
Yeah, so it's really specific on Edelheid. Despite being the Empress of like Italy, her feast day is specifically celebrated in Germany. The German church celebrates her. And Marcia, despite being the patron saint of England, is everywhere in Germany. Especially
Like they have a whole ass
Barovia.
castle for her.
Barovia.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Barovia, like so many. So like they all have like saint days, yeah, celebrated in Germany. It's just like yeah, it's a lot simpler than that. So
I mean, if you like understood, if you like understood theology, then maybe it's a bit easier.
yeah. So like you need to connect it to like okay, wait, why are these characters in like a German knight order?
Why are
Why
German?
specifically saints?
It has
Why
something to
saints
do with
specifically?
German. Remember that Rivers need to like study a lot about the culture, just to like make the characters or have like characters related to another character.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have an entire
Okay.
department for the night research team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is all I have for this part 2 of 3.3. How was it?
Okay.
Having fun?
Yeah. Like oh, NPCs were great. I don't know what else to say about it. Alright, I do know what I was about to say about NPCs. I was about to ask a question earlier. It
Yeah.
was about Meryl. How
Oh,
do you feel about her mask being off?
it feels like seeing Black Ibis without her eye patch.
He's now
It's like, go back to
immunocompromised.
wearing your cap and mask, please.
Like girly pop, there's going to be a bubonic plague or something in the 1920s. So put your mask on.
It's the Spanish flu.
go-
Oh, Spanish
Right.
flu. Never
Like-
mind. Bubonic plague was like
Like,
fucking
girly pop.
decades ago. I mean, centuries ago.
Yeah.
Girly Pop, why do you look so playable? But you're not playable now.
Remembering her. If I'm not mistaken, she lost her fucking mask. Girl lost her
Yeah.
fucking
All
mask.
right. Oh yeah, she did mention that. I remember that.
Yeah, she lost it. Now imagine if Black Ibis became playable. She loses her eye patches.
No.
She loses the eye.
No.
And immediately her silly is gone.
They took away all of her fishing.
Oh
Oh.
my god. Imagine she takes off her eye patch and it's just like actually there's nothing there. She just wears it because it's funny.
Yeah.
Please do.
Oh my god. Funniest character. She does not care.
But yeah.
Okay.
Hi. I think you already know why we're all here. We're back with the white screen. You know that flashbang. You already know that I'm done talking
Flashbang.
about the history, and now we're about to discuss about things that are not factual about history. We're now here not to discuss about what the writers and the artists probably intended for the story, but rather what we think about the story itself. That's right, dear listeners, it's time once again for another reader's response analysis, and this time we're going to go through the campaign's tale 3.3, a main story chapter. It's still kind of wild to me that we're finally getting to talk about a main story chapter. It's bound to happen, I guess. I mean, like, we took a while. We started with 3.1, non-main story, then main story. I mean, like, imagine if we started this podcast during 2.8 and then immediately got a main story back to back. That'd be kind of insane.
Ah,
That
true.
would be a lot of work though.
Oh god, that would have been wild. But my co-hosts have been gracious enough to, not take that long in their presentation, so I won't take that long as well. Without further ado, title screen. Welcome to the reader's response for the campaign's tale, where we simply have this space to share our thoughts, what we thought, and to start us all off, I just want to ask my fellow co-host for today. I know they've shared a little bit of their thoughts in the previous their previous presentations, but to get it out in the open, how do you feel about chapter 12?
I think it was there was a lot of low bombs there. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of low bombs.
Yeah.
And I was
I-
like, shit.
Yeah, I generally expected when, like, at first sight, right? You generally expect it to be like kind of a filler, you know, but then
Mm.
the moment you enter the middle of the chapter, you just get a lore bomb hit right in your face for 3 stages straight. It's so stupid, but it's so fun at the same time, honestly.
Yeah, and it's like okay, so like before I went to like read, enjoy like the story of like the 3.3, I already like know from like uh the name that it's going to be based on Igor's campaign, the history, the opera, and the the film. And I did not went to watch the film first. I went to like just read like some synopsis on like the Wikipedia, and I just couldn't find any connections to the story in 3.3 at all. And then I had to like sit
Yeah, you had
down
to watch
and
it.
watch the film itself. The opera film itself was like, oh wow, you know what? They took so many
Yeah.
goddamn references from this goddamn film. Thank God it was on YouTube.
Yeah. The thing is that I also did that as well, but I read through the original transcript. And I mean, like, first of all, I have low reading comprehension. I'm not gonna deny that. I did not
Yeah.
get that much out of it, so like, yeah, I thought it might not be. And then I didn't realize there was a film for it, so at least we now have like an hour 40 minutes of that last episode.
Oh my God. I think everyone should go watch it. It was really good. If you were like an opera fan, it was really good. And this is like the type of analysis that you cannot do just from reading the goddamn Wikipedia. You cannot do
Yeah,
that at
yeah,
all
without a doubt. Like a
because you
plot
actually have to
summary.
go to the source. What is the point?
Yeah, there's so much nuance that gets removed out of like just summaries alone. And to be completely honest, if you took a plot summary of chapter 12 and you just have like the main moments, you're gonna lose so much of the essence of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, chapter 12, I would say is, in my opinion, the way that I see chapter 12 is that it's both clear and unclear at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. Like, um, for one, I think that it's very clear what they want to do with this chapter and what I think it should contain. Like, I think it was well planned. I've mentioned this a few times before in a conversation. I don't think it was in Voidcast, but in case it is. But chapter 12, for what it's worth, I know we said that there's a lot of like lore drops and all that. I think chapter 12 is an extremely character centric story. Like, we have a lot of characters that we got a lot of depth to them. Like, of course, we have Igor being in the forefront, and then we have Ivan, Lilia, Morel, Marsha, and then even some minor NPCs like Sternova, Sergey, Ptolemy, even, and Galina have their time in the spotlight and like have their interactions and their motivations and their actions kind of believable for the most part. Like, character writing is something that I always really praised about Reverse. It's like their main highlight ever since 1.7. But like the reason why I'm mentioning it here right now is because like it's a war centric patch still. Like a war centric patch is known to be plot centric rather than character centric. Like, it would have been so much easier to make 3.3 plot driven or action oriented or something along those lines. But centering the characters instead, I feel makes 3.3 a little bit more special and really just impresses me with the amount of care and focus that they want to have in the first place that they executed. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, like less politics and just like more towards like the characters, then about the politics later.
Yeah, like I want a bit more politics as well in future chapters, but it's definitely the characters that shine the most. Like, we had a bit of politics in terms like Ivan and all that, but still, when you remember Ivan, you remember him for his character, not his politics. But like speaking of politics, I think I've also like mentioned this before, but the reason why chapter 12 is unclear to me is because where exactly do we go from here?
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen after this because especially with the ending where Burton didn't tell the Hawks anything.
Yeah,
They're just like,
exactly.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's gonna happen then?
what's gonna happen next? I know politics,
Yeah.
right?
Are we going to like what? Team Tiger keep on gonna make a lab on our own and just like research on this on our own? Question mark? I don't know.
I do like the fact that we're kind of just left on this really funny cliffhanger because now we really don't know what we're going into yet.
Yeah, because
So just
we're completely
space.
clueless. Because the previous
Yeah.
chapters that are not finales, I've always have some string connecting them to the next. Like, not just string, but like a massive hint. Like, 1.4, we had 5SP, which is like the entire thing with Hoffman, and then Vienna. Vienna, we literally saw the storm happen. You know, we already know that 22 hours from then, we're gonna make landfall. And then, what's next? Alright, Tristra Peaks. We know we got that little bit of a note at the very end, giving numbers. I still don't think anyone has solved it. Has anyone solved it yet?
Nah.
Nah, but like, some people believe that it hints to the Free Breeze. Then after Free Breeze, of course, we saw Ushuaia, and then after Ushuaia, we saw Antarctica. Like, there's always been a connecting thread that tells us where we're going next. I have no clue this time.
All we got is like a very vague clue, I think, in the war room where it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna see what Meryl is gonna do or something like that. That's like
Yeah,
the
at
only
least
thing
like
we know.
Marrow, we can see. At most like
Oh,
Marrow or either like Sentinel side, which we do not know yet
mhm.
what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
All we know is like just like the essential context clues, right? You got like what was it? You got you got everyone moving back to the Western Front, and then you have Sentinel on the move. And then you also have the 12 going like, okay, they're probably going to be redeployed again
Yeah.
for some unknown reason. And you
Yeah.
also have Burton in the back seat going like, you know what, I'm just not gonna say everything.
Yeah. It's very
So
interesting.
it's interesting as it is vague, so like you so we're really gonna go in blind with the next
Yeah.
chapter
We're
or the
going to
next
go
story
in
we
blind.
catch.
And you're like, you know what? I think this is a bit of a hot take, but this is one of the reasons why I want the global CN merge. Like, as of this moment, there's no main story chapter gap between us. And I think this is the first time ever that this has happened, and oh my god, it's genuinely amazing. Like, we're barrel right now. We're barrel right now. We're now in equal standing, not knowing what comes next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna
But
be Barrow.
People
we're-
Like,
just blind
but
and
speaking of
scared
Barrow,
as I'm
do you think
excited. Hmm?
like it's somehow we're gonna have like a merge between like the subplot of the depths of myths with the whatever the hell that is happening with the Amber Room right now? Do you
very
think they're just gonna
likely.
like merge that in?
I think it's
It's
gonna
I
happen
mean,
eventually.
yeah, they introduced very heavy plot points in like all the patches. We're definitely going to see a merge happen, or at least
Oh,
something.
at the end of the
Yeah.
cycle, imagine that.
Yeah, at the end of
Oh,
the
we're
cycle,
gonna go
barrel
into
just
the
barrels
depths of
all over the
myths.
place. Yeah. But yeah, like reeling it back in, we're talking about 3.8 at this point. Let's go back to 3.3. We're a few patches.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like still rather talking about what comes next, let's talk about the
Mm.
now. Because what we have as a present is 3.3, a very good patch in my opinion. As previously said, it is a very character-centric story, and as such, let's focus on the characters. Starting with I like Moldir.
Oh.
I don't
Oh.
think
Yeah, I can.
Uh-huh.
Same hat. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I've said it that much,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I don't think I've stated it as much in this podcast before, and
Uh-huh.
really anything, to be honest. But, like, I'm a rather shy person, in my opinion, but I think I like Muldir quite a bit. Um, like a very normal amount of liking her, I would say.
Oh my
I
god.
Wow, that you're
It's
uh
not even
move on,
updated.
I guess.
It's not updated.
This was like
This is from October, I believe, and it has now been November, December, January, February, March. So 5 months. This is before her skin in 3.3 got released. So this does not include all of those.
yeah.
I'm not sorry.
It's
Okay, look, I know I said I was a Mortier fan, but I am not as terminal as Red. I'll just have you know.
like
Okay.
okay, the whole Voidcast. Yes, everyone in here likes Moldir. I just think that we cannot neither me or you we can compare it to how much Red likes her. So
Yeah, I think it's very obvious. But like, I
Mhm.
know this is supposed to be like for 3.3, but really, come on, what other patch would I have the opportunity to do all this? Be honest with me. Like, for a
2.8.
fair, but like, it's been a while now, okay? Okay, we could have started with
Mhm.
2.8, but we didn't. But still, for a while now, I've been it's been pretty obvious, but I've been really enjoying Muldir's character. What she represents, her experiences, what she's gone through, how she looked, and how all of this and everything shapes her to take the path that she has decided to take, basically. And with the recent Muldir anecdote, I think my appreciation for her just multiplied tenfold and everything. And yeah, everyone here likes her. I like her the most. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, but yeah, I think it's very obvious that we're all endeared to her, and I think we all realize like the depths of her characterization. And I think today is a very good time to share all of that with the rest of the world. So let's dive into the reasons why I like Multier so. You guys ready?
What do you say,
No, I'm
Nico?
kidding. I'm
Would
kidding,
you
I'm kidding.
mind?
Get into it. You know what? Let's just get into it.
All right.
Okay, it's the first reason she serves space. Is that the first reason first?
I all right. So the reason why I love Noel Deer, the first reason is number one, I'm just kidding. Okay, this sounds bad. This sounds bad.
Bruh.
I know this sounds bad on purpose.
Bruh.
This sounds bad on purpose
Okay.
so that I can clip this part of the episode and make fun of myself in an out of context compilation later on, okay?
Okay.
At least you didn't say like you like Maria because of her dad or something.
That would be even worse, honestly. Um anyway, the reason Lupera is here is that I really don't think you can begin to analyze Multier's character without first analyzing her role as a sister. And there's really no
True.
better example of that
Mhm.
than with, Carlota Lopez Rivera. Personally, the way I see it, Multier and Lupera's relationship is probably like, I would say, one of, if not the most important one in the 2.x series. I mean, like, it's a bit obvious considering that the 1.x series puts a lot of emphasis on relationships. Like, we have 37 and Sophia, 6 and 37, like, Isolde and Kakanya, Marcus and Hoffman, Adler and Lucy, and like, the rest of Laplace and everything like that. The focal point of 1.x is how the characters, being fully colorful on their own and being able to stand on their own, how they interact, how they converse, and how they influence others in their vicinity. Meanwhile, in my opinion, the 2.x characters, they put a lot more emphasis on the concepts and the experiences of each individual rather than their relationship with others. Like Recoleta and Aleph are pen pals, sure, but their existence as a ghost of Latin American literature and a prisoner of transcendentality is more important than their encounters. Like, Anjunala is shaped not by her interactions with other playables, but the prejudice she faced as a succubus, and the kindest non-playables have given to her non-playable characters. Nautica is a biggest example of this in my opinion, with her being the representation of chasing the unknown. So like, there's quite a bit of a difference with how 2.x treats its characters with how 1.x does. I don't think I'm smoking here, right?
no. It's like 2.x is more like a bigger picture of like the overall concept
Yeah.
of like the character story themselves, rather than dig into the characters
Yeah,
individually.
Yeah, it's more so like they more so focus on how they fulfill the concepts and the roles that they play throughout the story.
yeah.
So,
Like what they represent and what role they fill in. And
mhm.
beyond those characters, what we're left with is kind of one relationship, one of sisterhood, which I think, as I said, is the most important one in 2.x. And I think it is an extremely deep and poignant one. I also think that you can't exactly like Moldir if you don't like Lopera in the first place, so that's one other thing. Not equivalent though. You can hate Moldir and like Lopera. I've seen a few people do that, but first, before we
Mhm.
talk about Moldir, let's talk first about Lopera and how she thinks, and more importantly, how she copes. Because I think that this really is back to Moldir.
Mhm.
Okay, very
Mhm.
complicated graph here. I wanted to do this analysis for Para
Oh.
way longer than I
Oh,
wanted to do
God.
an analysis of Moldir because,
Oh.
with all due respect, Lopera is one of, if not the best part of
Uh.
Chapter 8, okay? I don't think anyone
Okay.
disagrees with that.
Uh,
I mean, like, some people would disagree and say that Nala is like a better part, but alright. Before I get into anything, just a bit of a disclaimer, before I get into whatever the hell the fuck this is, I just want to say that I'm not a psychiatrist. I have no experience in the field, and my current major is not at all related to any of this. I
Mhm.
basically just took an ethics class during chapter 8, and I Dunning-Kruger the fuck out of it, okay? I highly recommend that you do your own research on the matter and take my words with a grain of salt. If
Yeah.
you're an expert on the matter and that I have made some egregious mistake in the next few minutes, please feel free to correct me on the matter. Please. For now, I just want to ask, what does Lopera fear the most?
Being betrayed,
Betrayal.
being left behind, big O abandonment issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, the more important question. What does Lopera do to cope when she's betrayed?
Oh. Not so good. The shooting.
Okay. Yeah. The way that she copes is like she tries to picture like the person or the people who left her as bad people. Like immediately just labels them as a bad person and tries to search for like someone else to fulfill like that role instead before she really like takes the weight of the situation, if anything.
Exactly. Just like that. And I guess I have to go through the graph now, okay? Okay, makes sense then. Alright then. Before I dig into that a bit more, I want to introduce you all to Erikson's Stages of Psychosocial Development by Eric and Joan Erickson, which is basically a theory that serves as a guide map, basically, of an entire individual's like lifespan, split into 8 stages from, being a kid, infancy to all the way to adulthood. You can basically see here, each stage and then each basic conflict that occurs in each stage and what virtues and what describes them. Some other graphs have other things like descriptions, what questions they must answer, what events influence those questions, but for now, let's simplify things. What we have here are the stages. The reason why I'm bringing Erickson here is because I think Lapierre is a good example of following this very path as she becomes older and we witness her journey, whether she overcomes a certain conflict or not. Because the thing is, I think we can all agree Lapera is very much a fighter. I think that is pretty obvious, and she's a fighter true and true. But still, let's go through it one by one, starting with play age, 3 to 6 years old. Now, as far as we all know, Lopera is the daughter of one of the people who would betray his co-workers and cause the Banana Massacre. It's a whole thing. I wish we had an episode for 2.2 to discuss the history of it. We do not have the time. But as such, his father's identity is heavily shunned and they went into hiding. This correlates with the conflict at year 3 to 6, which is initiative versus guilt. The thing is, Lopera has a lot of initiative, I'd argue. Like, she's very an initiative person. Like, Despite her father constantly getting her locked up and chastising her from getting out, it never really stopped her from initiating in the first place. You know, she wants to go out. That's initiative. She still does what she wants to do and she doesn't feel guilt, the other part, over her father's reprimands. I'm simplifying a lot of things here, but just follow through. Next is school age, 7 to 12. When Lapera finally develops a sense of self-confidence in her abilities and fully rebels against her father. This barely before when she got picked up by Zeno, okay? This is a choice in her life, and at that point, she decides on whether she wants to continue to follow her father's wishes and live in inferiority, or go against it and develop a sense of industry. The main conflict at that age, industry versus inferiority. A sense of competence and basically self-confidence. And I think that that's clear which one she chose at that point. She rebelled against her father, she developed a sense of industry, she decided to not be inferior to his wishes. And then finally, the most important one is adolescence, where she is now. 14 years old, 12 to 18 years. This is where she is now, and after leaving her father. She gets picked up by Zeno, and there her identity versus confusion, identity begins to form. One that she believes is true and real. She gets to be an adoptive daughter of Igor and a soldier of Zeno. The conflict for this stage of life is, once again, identity, whether or not you form the determined definition of who you are, and confusion, being left with no idea who you are. She was doing well from her point of view until Igor's defection, of course, and she is left to pick up the pieces of her broken receiver, just like she's left to pick up the pieces of her broken identity. One of the main points of adolescence is answering the important question of who am I? Who am I meant to be? Who can I be? In Paths of the Past, we get this. Now I've lost my identity and my siblings. I'm just Lapera. But who is Lapera anyway? I asked before, how does Lapera cope with being with one of her biggest complexes and the traumata of being betrayed? So there's a lot of things she's done. I truly do think that it manifests best in the terms of a crisis in identity. Either one about herself or the one that Deimos said, one towards others, especially those who have betrayed her. In the case of her father, I think it's pretty obvious. His face is literally blurred in the only CG we see of him in Lapera's story. And at the same time, Lapera wanted to get rid of her own name after her father's betrayal. You know, her own identity in the first place, if not Moldir asking her to keep it. Then there is also the Zeno soldiers who killed General Carlos in Sao Paulo. She was noticeably really ruthless with them. Lucas, the one in the rainforest, was literally pleading for his life, asking her to remember the time they spent together, playing cards. Meanwhile, Lapera just simply kills him, saying that disloyalty and betrayal can never be forgiven, despite all the time that they have spent together. A removal of identity. The same goes with the soldiers that she executed herself. In fact, she was even proud of that. And then we have Rodrigo. We literally see in real time how Lapera stops seeing Rodrigo as his own person and just sees him as a reflection of her father. And then of course, we have the most important one, Igor. And we have the quote on screen on its consequences. He doesn't know who she is. And then also we have Moldir, an attaché of Igor. He betrayed Lapera too. The thing is with Lapera's Paths of the Past, which is in chapter 8, the extra reading section, I highly recommend it because I think it has some of the best writing in the chapter. But at the same time, it's not that hard to beat chapter 8 in terms of writing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people skip this part and they didn't even know.
A lot of people skip this part, and it's such a shame.
They didn't even know that Model is so easy just to cry when her siblings get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
This part, go read. My God.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this section of the chapter gets overlooked because of the fact that chapter 8 in itself is not that good, like not in the standard
Yeah.
of how chapters should be. But
Yeah.
even then, there's still something worth reading, and it's probably
Yeah.
this,
It's
really.
very much worth reading, in my opinion. It has the best writing in chapter 8. And it's such a shame that not a lot of people like read it. But like, if you're hearing this now and you haven't read it, I highly recommend that you do so. It's a few short paragraphs. I don't think you're gonna waste that much time in it. But yeah, let's go back. In Lepera's Paths of the Past, it actually consists of mostly Moldir, as you can see here. Like before, she tries to use the same coping mechanism she had done so time and time again, trying to forget, depersonalizing her experiences with the person, making herself farther and farther away from them, making all of those experiences with the betrayer as nothing more than a second thought. Like over here, he refuses to call her sis. Let's just call her by her name, Moldir. Uttering those familiar yet strange syllables one at a time, it makes me shiver. When did I start calling a stranger sis? I don't know. The question simply becomes, did she succeed? The thing is, no, she did not. Rather than finding a way to hate her even more, to distance herself from Moldir, simplify the relationship as nothing more so that no guilt will happen when she eventually has to shoot her. Lepera reflects. She remembers every single moment of kindness between them as siblings instead, pondering over how days they have spent together, the times that she had cared for her, the times that Moldir became self-sacrificial the way that she was, the moments they spent as sisters. For once, instead of running away from the experiences and forgetting them, they linger in her mind and in her heart of how much she was affected by them this time. So she really has no choice but to suffer through it all for the first time. And I think that the last line of the Paths of the Past really encapsulates it all for me. In the beginning, as I previously said, Lepera decides that she's no longer her sister. But in the end, Lepera declares that maybe next time they meet, she will shoot Moldir, but not without consolidating her place in her life as a sister. And yeah, fucking read Paths of the Past, I beg of you. But why? I mean, like, we had all of those people from before. We had Igor. Why is Moldir the one in particular to break this cycle? This is the thing that I have been interested about ever since 2.2 got finished, and yes, I am admitting it, I have been looking forward to this ever since 2.2, and I'm very much happy that we got the answer when Moldir finally got released. Well, there's this kind of a thing that's usually said where, the memory might fade, the mind can forget, but the heart does not. And like, my argument is that if Igor is the thinking one, the planner, the brain of the Griffon Legion and all that, then the one who is actually with the soldiers and familiarizes herself with each and every one of them is Moldir. She is undoubtedly the beating heart of the Griffon. I think we all agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this fact is undoubtedly clear with like most of it not.
That hurts the most.
Yeah, I like hurting people. I think this is very clear with how she interacts with her siblings in chapter 10. We've already gone through like in like UV section about how like if Moldir goes, the entire Legion is just going to collapse on its own.
Yeah, the entire Legion is just going to die. It's not going to live.
Yeah. I was supposed to discuss it, but like thankfully there's a bit of a break, a bit of an in between our like presentations, behind the scenes stuff. So, like I sprinkle a bit of magic and edited my script. But yeah, come on. Look how pretty she is here.
Oh my god.
I mean, what type shit?
Okay.
I guess.
I'm judging. I'm just
Understandable.
Now
Yeah,
look how pretty she
exactly.
is here now.
You also got the anecdote, Moni.
Bro.
Alright.
Hey, before this, we didn't even know she can sing and play the instrument, and it's
Oh,
actually
bruh.
like a really good
Yeah.
person for love advice, even though her love advice are really job coded.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
know,
it's
right?
very jock coded, but you know, she's from the
It's
army.
yeah, it's like
She's
it's
from the
expected at
army.
this point.
Listen, if she became a
Also,
researcher, it would have been
mhm,
nerd advice instead.
yeah, I wanna. Yeah, I also wanna like kind of say it's kind of interesting that they chose like to give Mulder some form of her own identity beyond like her role in the army and her role as a sister, right? Because of course we have like Mulder from a life before the storm happened, right?
Yeah.
So I do like the fact that they give like little bits of identity back to her, like giving her the dombra, a Kazakh instrument, as well
Mhm.
as her interest in science and her interest in the stars. Even
Yeah.
it's what I like about Mulder here in this anecdote.
Yeah, it's a good anecdote, which is what I'm going to be talking about next. Which is, I mean, like, not exactly her anecdote, but really how she developed throughout the story, and I think it's just the anecdote really showcases all of that completely. Because Camille Deer is someone that has been heavily trapped by the past and the present, her skin name. But like she has been trapped by the past and the present to the point that she cannot really see the future that is ahead of her. She's really like being held back by the voices of her past, like in the form of her biological father and mother, like their wishes for her, and then of course the way by which Igor adopted her, making her feel a sense of loyalty to them, and also her wishes of being a scientist from the past. There's a reason why she trusts Igor so much in the past and obeys his orders, of course. And like, there's also the present that she currently has. You know, like her current role as a soldier, as someone who carries out orders and doesn't question them. Once again, soldiers follow orders. Nothing else. A soldier's approval isn't needed, just their obedience. There's a
So this
certain
theme is actually like a lot about time. If you like check on like her skills, both of her skills and her ultimate are all about like past, present, and future. So
yeah,
it's
Mm-hmm.
really like into like a concept of like as a character. Even her skill, it's actually I know her like arcane skill is supposed to be fixing stuff,
yeah.
but in like her incantation, it's actually more like rewinding the state of an object into like what it used to be.
Mm.
That is what is said in like her
Mm.
incantation. It's actually like a time manipulation, but on like objects.
But yeah, I think I left off at saying that a soldier's approval, her own words in chapter 8, which is um you don't need my approval, just my OP. And following that, I guess there's not really that much of a way to transition this, but there's this other certain line from a different game that I really liked. It's probably not an original line because the essence of the line itself is very much a common theme, but it's from Paper Lily, an RPG. It goes a little something like this: setting things in motion is difficult. Choosing to do something rather than nothing is difficult. Change is uncomfortable. It's always easier to leave things the way they are, to let the flow carry you. That is until the point where doing nothing does more damage than doing anything. When this happens, change is no longer a choice, it's a consequence. And like she's pretty. In a way,
I mean, yeah, it's true. Face card, her face card does not decline.
but like I don't think anyone has done this comparison before, but in a way, I think I can very much liken Moldir's growth as something that is quite similar to Madame Z in chapter 3 and 4 in the way that it goes down to the lines itself. You know, like in chapter 3, Madame Z states that she does not agree with the nature of the plan, like killing the kids, but she still goes through with it until she finds a scenario where it is possible to forge her own path and fight for what she believes is right in Vertin's side. Meanwhile, Moldir voices her disagreement with Igor's actions in chapter 8, but takes a while, it takes from chapter 8 to chapter 10 before she finally gets the guts to do what she wants to do and to forge her own path. Even if,
Yeah, she just
technically,
needs to be
yeah,
away from her dad a bit for her to like actually have some space and some time to like start thinking, maybe I should do something about it.
yeah, even if technically she did it with his permission, she had to ask permission from dad first.
I
But
mean, it's in she was like trained, not like trained, but it's more like because she was raised by Igor, her obedience to him is like absolute. Not to mention like in like chapter 8 when Modia tried to like express her own opinions and Igor immediately shuts her up by saying, I don't want your opinion, Modia, I want your obedience. So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay, Dad, what the heck?
Yeah, that's yeah, that's one of the lines. And like it's quite a hard thing to break away from, much harder than what I would argue is with Madame Z. Like because Z's powerlessness comes from her lack of experience in politics. Moldir's experience comes from literal grooming from being 16, from her age of being 16 and losing both of her parents, and then seeing this new father figure is much deeper than that. But still, I think Demos linked this quite a while back. But there's a post in like the reverse subreddit that I think encapsulates my feelings about Moldir's arc and her role in the matter. It was posted a few days ago from user MidLover A1Z26. I will be linking it in the description. I don't fully go through with it, but I think the essence I feel comes around in the same way about Moldir's development, and I believe it's titled Moldir Did Not Desert in chapter 10. Demos, I think you're familiar with this. Yeah.
Yeah. I think someone else shared it to me, so I just passed it along here just for other people to read.
Yeah.
So.
But like, in general, I think that her entire development, in my opinion, is centered around her. What's a good word? Helplessness in her role. Like, she raises up her siblings only to see them die. She shoots a man knowing that it's kill or be killed and, gets traumatized for a while by it. She loses her parents and her dream to become a scientist. And while all of this is happening, she really can't do anything about it because, Storm. Or, at the very least, that's what she has convinced herself in the meanwhile. She hides under the guise of, soldiers following orders and that it's enough to her to, defect blame, remove shame, disregard responsibility in the matter on things like the rebellion, or at least she tries to tell herself so. But in her mind, she wants to do more. So, bit by bit, he does something. Letting Lilia go, not shooting Lopera when she has the chance, and they're going face to face in chapter 8. Taking in Ulrich and Meryl, and then finally choosing to assist Regulus's record. For once, bit by bit, she chooses her own path. She chooses. She doesn't ignore the sins of her own past, but she's no longer just being dragged along, being swept away by the current, but she's now actually making an active effort to move from her own mind with her own decisions and then actually stepping forward. With the lines from her trailer, this is the only path to the future. I have always known it in my heart. This is the path that I have taken. I will follow it. Now, she is no longer held back by the past and the present. She remembers them, she holds them dearly in her heart. She realizes that she can never let go of them at all. But at least now, she looks forward. And as her sibling Sergeant Whitegloves has said, sometimes it takes more courage to stick to a choice than it is to make one. And that is really one of the main things that made me endear to Muldear's character so much more in chapter 10. And my god, I'm so fucking happy she's playable in chapter 10. She got such a... Like, people keep talking about her glow up in terms of like her model, but god, she had a glow up in terms of her character as well. Oh my god.
Yeah, her character writing. There was a lot
so
of character developments, and I know a lot of people said like Mordia doesn't like the chapter 10 didn't give much of Mordia's character. Bullshit. You did not.
Bullshit.
You did not pay attention.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
you did
Absolutely
not
bullshit.
pay attention. If you just simply read between lines, like sure, she did not get as much time as like Nautica. Sure, she did not get as much time as like Burton. That's because like chapter 10 has a lot of things to juggle. But with the time that she had on screen, it was more than enough to complete her character arc, in my opinion. And if you just simply read between the lines, that's a complete character right there.
Especially like when you consider Mordia's character to be like slowly developed as a child, to have like absolute obedience to like Igor, her father, and basically loyal to the Legion, and for her to start like slowly growing into her own person, choosing her own path slowly and not like abruptly, that is when the writer is, treating it with care.
Yeah.
They really care about this character, so that's
Yeah.
why they're just like going slowly with her, because she is not the type of person who chooses things abruptly.
Yeah, exactly. Like as I've said, it's bit by bit. She chooses. From letting go of Lilias to not shooting Lepera to letting Ulrich and Meryl go to helping. Finally, an active step. It's bit by bit, but it happens.
Yeah, I do want to say. I do want to say though, a lot of the quote-unquote main characters or the main playables that you get set aside in the main chapters, a lot of their development is seems to be intended to be a lot slower compared to like the characters that are in the forefront. Like, so you got Nautica, who just got shoehorned, ironically, into the chapter as a third party, where they're kind of going through the horrors, and then she goes through like a really, really fast development from when we first meet her to when she transforms into something unknown, to the very unknown that she's searching for. But then you have second half characters. You have characters like Moldier, you have characters like even Marsha, where their development is a lot more slower paced because there's a lot of intent behind it. And with Moldier, it's showcased really well, if anything. So,
I feel like the choice with how they choose to like pace Modia's like progress or like character development like this is because they need to leave a lot of space for future content where he will eventually play a bigger role. So that's why like her steps are like very small at the beginning.
Yeah.
And because they're leaving space, this is a gacha game, okay? We need to like save some space.
Yeah.
For like other character progression.
Because without a doubt, she's coming back.
Yeah, she's definitely coming back. Look at her anecdote.
Yeah.
Though.
Look at her
The
anecdote.
plot is
Did you expect
going
her?
somewhere?
Did you expect her to like appear in chapter 12? No, but she's here now.
Yeah.
She will be here for time to come because Igor will be coming back.
Yep.
And yeah, there's like I would say that there's many different reasons why I end up falling in love with a character. Like one of them is primarily due to the writing, like of course, but there are very very few in my opinion that maybe like really fall in love with a character. Like one of the reasons I would wager, I've explained this to Deimos in the past, but like it's a very simple one. It's like I like smart characters. I'm attracted to like intellect. I've known it since the first few pieces of media that I've ever consumed, you know? And like it still sticks to this day. Like Lucy, Six, Akabe and Kurisu from Steins Gate, sure, why not? Kyokirigiri, many more. I'm just listing characters that I really like now. God fucking damn it.
Oh.
But yeah, aside from that, another reason would be characters that I'm able to relate to in terms of their struggles and their experiences. I think this is universal enough that we like characters that we feel are like us, but they are characters that exist outside of us. It's comforting to know that our experiences, our pains are shared with another, even if they're fictional. And like, it's even better, we like them even more when those characters overcome those struggles. And of course, I also fall in love with characters that I wish to become. Mulder embodies the strength to move forward, to look back at the past, not with regret, not with contempt, but with the promise to choose better in the future and to not run away with excuses from the fact. It's very rare for a character to be in all three of these categories for me, but I'm very much glad that there is one in Reverse 1999. I just, didn't expect it to be the NPC model looking ass from Chapter 8, but sure, here we are.
The NPC models with so many belts.
She has too many belts
And
back then.
long-ass boots.
But, like, still, despite all of this development, I don't think this is the end for Moldir Raslinovna Ulanovna. Fuck! I practiced so much earlier. And I still butchered it.
It's fine.
Moldir
It's fine.
Rasilovna Ulanov. Fuck! Moldir Rasilovna Ulanova. There we go. There's still a lot for her
We're gonna
story
have
to
so
tell.
many bloopers.
Yeah. There's
Oh
still
my
a lot
God.
of story for her to tell. As previously said, hers is a story that takes its time, and she will be appearing in future episodes. Quote me on this, and if she doesn't appear, I'm doing
She
it.
will be appearing. Have you seen the anecdote?
Yeah, she will be appearing, and if she does not appear, I will be pulling 70 pulls extra on Constantine's banner. Okay, quote me on this.
You could have done worse and say Arcana banner or something.
No. You know what? Arcana banner as well. Both of them.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I'm
Not
super
sure.
excited. I'm super excited to see more of her moving forward, because she's going to be there for chapter 13, 14 moving forward. She's a pivotal character, and she has a pivotal role to fulfill. Oh, and I like her too because she's hot as fuck. Anyway,
Okay.
Of course.
is that everything? I think I got everything covered actually, and yeah, still got some stars here to release it as well. And good. Once again, version 3.3, everyone. It's been such a good time overall, and it's been really nice to get to talk about like one of my favorite characters in the game and why I like her so much. Like 3.3 has been generally really good. Like version 2.8 has been good with like everything. Same with 3.0. 3.1 I would argue has some weak points, but like still, 3.3 absolute banger of a chapter. And that being said, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen next. And like, oh my god, I really cannot wait to like
Elephant in the room.
guys.
Elephant.
Is this like yours or something? Did you guys like leave an elephant or something? Like, I swear this isn't
Oh my
mine. Like,
Do you want to address it? Okay.
oh,
The dad? Okay.
did you guys let him?
Addressing the man in the
Did you guys let him inside, or did you guys send him an invite? Like,
No.
No?
No.
I don't really want to contact him.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys even have his
After-
contact? Why is he here?
No, I don't. Why do you have his contact?
I mean, like, I know a lot of people who would like to have his contact. Alright, alright. Well,
Yeah.
here's a reverse 1999 fun fact of the day for you. Yubi already mentioned it countless times, but the campaign's tale is based off the Slavic poem named The Tale of Igor's Campaign. Needless to say, I think that it's pretty obvious that it's gonna be pretty fucked up to not talk about Igor in the patch that he's named after. Because, like it or not, similar to Moldir, he is a central character and will be important in future patches. So just saying, we need to set the record straight immediately from this point on, okay? Okay? Okay. No, honestly, ever since I knew for a fact I will be holding under reader's review discussion for 3.3 and that like Igor holds a central part of the story, I knew that I was going to be having a hard choice. That choice being whether or not I will be talking about him or not. I've always been kind of scared of analyzing him, in particular because if you know, you knew you'd be slotted to an Igor fan or an Igor hater, you know? Where like, it's either you want to suck his dick and not read the story, or you know, you hate him as much and you don't read the story.
God.
You know? Both camps don't read the story, so like, then I remembered the reason why like we made the Voidcast in the first place is like to have a discussion for things like these. You know, to have an appreciation for art, for the writing, for the plot, to have a proper space to talk. And more than anything, I think Eeyore is a perfect fit to talk in a place like this. Igor is an antagonist without a doubt. He has done plenty, so many fucked up things. Crimes, blood, all of it is in his hands. Nonetheless, the thing is, we have a proper justice system. And when he faces that court of justice, the rules remain to apply to him. And that is the idea that no matter what, however evil a man can be, no matter the atrocities that he has committed, every devil needs an advocate. And in our case, in the realm of fiction, I believe that every antagonist, every villain, deserves a proper analysis of their actions, their motivations, as long as their writing provides for it. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Once again, welcome one and all to the second part of my presentation. Hello there everyone, my name is ReddShifted. Today we are not going to be defending Igor. We are not going to be absolving him of any of his sins, nor are we going to give him any redemption arc whatsoever, because the game did not give him a redemption arc either. That's not the point of chapter
There's
12.
like no redemption. They're just
There's
like, okay,
no redemption
look,
arc.
he's done some good, and he knows it.
Yeah. He literally said this is not the redemption is not what he wants. He just wants the atonement and that's it.
Yes, exactly.
He
You did
literally
not
just
read
said
chapter
that.
12.
Punishment.
It's not a redemption arc. It's an atonement arc, which is a completely different thing. There will be no need to empathize in this analysis, but for the sake of the narrative and for the sake of setting things straight, we will be trying to understand his actions and his reasons behind them. This is going to be, first and foremost, an analysis on Igor. Okay? Be good here? I'm not defending him. I'm not saying that he's a good person. He's fucking not. We're analyzing him, the character. This is a privilege that we get to have because we're outside the story itself. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to be going through his sins one by one, and the first one on the list is one among many, so many. One of the main claims with Igor is that he harbors and adopts children to groom. Do you agree with that?
No. because like look, first of all of her soldiers, the children that has been adopted, they were all storm children, basically.
Yeah, I have no comment on this specific claim because like there's to some degree, but I will say that sure, maybe his influence has done too much to the
Yeah,
point that it's come to harm. But on the other
I
hand,
feel like
you have to really look
he,
at this properly, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to look at
I
this
feel like
properly.
it would be more of a situation where he adopted all of like his old comrades, children after the storm because they got no
Yeah,
one,
he got no
and
one.
then
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
it comes to the point where he has to make a decision of like okay, we can't, the foundation is not good, the manners is also not good, what am I gonna
Mm.
do, and what what do you call it, what resources do I have? Yes, my many children.
My
And
many
he
children.
decided to
So
do that.
it's like
Yeah.
the main point, part of the main point in how Igor interacts with his children is the fact that he is interacting with them in such a way that he is trying to keep them from something that they'll eventually face later. Like
Yeah.
the whole point, like, if we're gonna look back at Modir's own stories and her own profile, we see that yeah, they were supposed to place her into SPDM. They were supposed to
Hmm.
train her into being a soldier, and maybe she would have turned out like someone like Soneto, if
Yeah, an
anything.
investigator
But
instead.
an investigator who is very much willing to die for the cause, very blindly. So,
Yep.
but no, she ended up being assigned at the hands of Igor's own unit. She was given she was given an opportunity to grow elsewhere,
Yeah.
detached from the foundation's own wants and from a standpoint that has started to become independent from what the
Yeah.
foundation or even the past house wants.
Like the thing is, you could argue that like Igor's children have more personality than graduates from SPDM. And like you could immediately see it. The case
Mm-hmm.
in point being literally a character from chapter 12, Meryl. You could literally like see what they do in SPDM once more and like you know, the attempt at removal of identity and all that. The student handbook being extremely thick and like having to sacrifice yourself for the nobler cause of humanity. But still, it's a morally dubious choice nonetheless, in my opinion. But throughout this entire remainder of this presentation, you will see like a kind of a pattern where I won't really be denying any of the charges pressed against Igor because, you know, they're more or less true, you know? In an objective sense, that did happen. Igor did adopt children, and then from those children, he made an army, you know? But what I will be doing instead, however, is like in this first point, I will be recontextualizing that scenario such that you understand it better. And more importantly, understand that the world of reverse is fundamentally different from ours. More than just the presence of arcanists, and as such, different moralities. Continue. Um, Over a year ago, I'm surprised it's over a year ago at this point, but when Recoleta was first teased in CN, a few people were surprised about her being 17 years old. I made this thread in response to it. I will be also linking this in the description if you want to read it. But basically, the crux of my argument is the flavor text under the Xeno Arms Academy loading screen that states that countries all over the world all agreed to let Xeno take in age appropriate children, quote unquote, and provide them systemic training to be soldiers. I would assume Lilia is one of these children, and for context, she was, I believe, 12 at the earliest when she was manning the broom. so she was very young, and that is considered age appropriate. I'm not trying to shift the blame from Xeno to the country's governments here. I think Xeno is still, like, somewhat at fault. The same what goes with Laplace and the Foundation and the countless other organizations hiring children. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the issue of child exploitation runs far, far deeper in the world of Reverse beyond just the Foundation, beyond just Xeno, and beyond just Laplace. Basically, to quote my own thread, the world of Reverse 1999 is fucked and does not operate under the usual moral compass that we have on our own. The reasons behind child labor in the past are deep and complex, ranging from familial abuse to socioeconomic factors, and yet even in the late 20th century, well-developed countries and world-renowned institutions in this other world not only allow but support child exploitation, even at times regardless of race. End quote. One of the most important things about anthropology is understanding that the current moral standard should not apply to the events in the past. We can absolutely say that for past events that what a person did is fucked up. Like, without question, especially for some of the most deplorable, abhorrent people in the past. But for an analysis, just saying that it's fucked up is not enough. You need to understand why, and to do that, you need some kind of objectivity and some detachment from current morals. And I think that the world of Reverse is differentiated enough that we need that kind of distinction. And this applies to all future patches and past patches as well. I'm saying this now just to kind of set a standard that, you know, I know that our morals have some kind of basis. It's a good basis, of course. But when you have to apply it to the world of Reverse, not everything will be the same. And we have to be prepared for that when we want to analyze it. Like, it's good that we say that Constantine is fucked up for killing those kids. Like, it's good to say that the SPDM is fucked up for housing all of those children. It's good to say that Igor is kind of screwed up to turning all of his children into soldiers. But in the world of Reverse, that's normal. And we have to realize that that is. So why did Igor have a child soldier army? Because the world that he lives in made it normal to have a child soldier army that made it normal to exploit children. Doesn't make it any less fucked up, but that's an answer to a different question when we're just asking why.
Yeah. Can I add a bit? Like a bit of comment?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always, every single time that we've had this conversation online over and over again, I always think there's something about this that makes me feel a bit bad. That, okay, sure, I understand where most of the arguments are going. I understand that the moral standing here can, there a lot of the things that they argue about, there is some very clear moral standing that in our understanding of the world. But it's really clear when you see that they're not getting the point across about how we understand our own morals and how the morals within this fictional world, it's not the reality that we're living in. It's,
The thing is, it's a bit harder for us because like Reverse is a alt history, so like we still partially see it through our own history's lens. But like I really think a distinction be had.
I tend to think of the world of Reverse as like sort of a, they have like some sort of post-apocalyptic theme. The apocalypse being the storm. So it's like, okay, I can see like from the lens that, yeah, manpower is very low. So we're gonna start using children now. Basically.
If anything, I'm very surprised by like the different direction that this series takes, with most of the characters from all the patches have been adults with the exception of I believe Lubuska.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it's a really surprising contrast, but it's not. I'm very welcome to it after like getting so many 17-year-olds for the past 2 years.
17 and 16.
Yeah.
Or even lower than that, the babies.
Yeah, 14.
Arguably 15,
Yeah.
14, 15, 16, 17. It's such a nice contrast, but we cannot really forget the fact that there is a reason, an almost reasonable basis as to why they made these specific choices for their ages.
Yeah.
I think people miss that a lot.
This entire cycle is about war.
Yeah, it's about war.
Yeah.
Like, we have Meryl to have that perspective for us.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, moving forward. That's the first of the scenes. I mean, scenes. Jesus. What accent is that? That's the first of the scenes. Next, of course, is the desertion and the rebellion of Sao Paulo. But at this point, I don't think I even need to discuss it personally. Because in my opinion, about Sao Paulo, Chapter 12 already does its job for me. And also Igor's character story. In fact, I'm honestly kind of surprised that he didn't betray them much sooner after reading through his character story. Like,
yeah.
I'm surprised that he even collaborated in the Amber Room in the project at all after the events of Almuntar. Like, if anything, Arcana is just simply the straw that broke the camel's back after how much weight has been put on it. Like, on reading his character story, like, you see that he has had his doubts about the operation of Xeno. Like, with how often he has heard the lines, "You do not have the clearance to access this information," over and over and over again, to the point that, upon adoption, we have this line, like, Moldier asks, "Why did all of these people die?" Igor just simply answers, "I don't." Like, he has no clearance to access the information to see why all of his men. And for years after that, he just continued on with this hope that, what he's doing is right, he will know more eventually. What he's doing is for the peace of mankind. And, maybe he did know more. Maybe he didn't. Nonetheless, he followed the mantra.
He's like the worst case of like being born into a system that basically made him follow orders blindly.
Yeah.
And it took him like what? How old is he right now?
54.
For him to realize that, well, maybe we should not be doing this.
Oh, 56.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, he explicitly stated in chapter 12 that if not for the fact that the Battle of 1999 largely affected everyone, all the survivors' memories of those events, he would have left much sooner.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't. So
yeah, like, I'm surprised it really did not happen sooner.
Yeah.
The most striking part of Igor's character story is like that I feel like recontextualizes, I think, everything. Is I think it was part 8 of his character story, where it's a really dire strait in Almuntar, and basically he contacts communications and goes, "I want to use a vacuum bomb to eliminate the Manus forces." Ooh, very familiar, very familiar. And like, to me, this is a very interesting parallel, because in his mind, the way that I see it, regardless of how dire a situation is now, he will always have that backup plan of a vacuum bomb. No matter how bad it gets, there's always an escape button with the vacuum bomb. Easy way out, it'll turn the tides towards his favor, only to be used in the worst case scenario. We'll always have that as his trump card. And that's why he was so regretful in not using the vacuum bomb in 1999. It could have turned the tides in his favor, in his mind. And that's why, in 2007, he used it to vaporize just one enemy, the head of Manus Vindictae, because that was his last hope and his last resort. And you know what happens? Last hope didn't fucking
Just
work.
like,
Arcana still lives.
oh, this is kind of like fucked up for like a character born with an arcane skill to have like a mental simulation in his head, and then just turns out like the possibility of winning this is just almost zero.
Yeah. Like, you
Yeah,
planned all of this out.
it's
You took so much effort. And no,
he
you can't.
yeah he heard Arcana's voice in those earphones, like the headphones, the moment that he put them on.
I'm
He
surprised he
knew
didn't
that
crash out then and there.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, is she? There's no signal. She's dead.
I'm surprised he
But
managed to
Don't start
stay like
acting
so calm and composed at that moment.
I mean,
Go
to be fair,
start acting skills.
if anything, he probably would have crashed out more if he got the documents about Almantar than this.
Yeah.
Like,
That is true.
yeah, it's like if this didn't work, then what else can he do? He's
Yeah.
already been mentally drained by the Amber Room. He's already lost so much of his soldiers, his kids,
Yeah.
and now we're at this point where he's at the last resort.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, like, if
and
you've
it's still
given it
work.
everything you've got, you've given it everything. You got your soldiers, you got your ammunition, you got the best bomb that you have that you always put your trust towards. Like, in the worst case scenario, you put your trust into that bomb, hoping that it will give you results, and it didn't. Like, I'm just gonna echo his words in that, how can you truly win against the god? What would you do next?
This is very you can tell that the writers love this guy so much because of how much they torture him. Not to mention
Yeah.
giving him the name Igor,
Yeah.
being protected by a god, and then just like getting fucked over by everything else in the story.
I mean,
Not being
like,
protected by the god.
you know what they say, like, your most favorite OC, you gotta make them suffer the most.
So, besides
Yeah,
Burton,
it's
this
like-
Igor.
Like, okay, you can see the love that they have for this specific character. Like, sure, it's kind of funny in hindsight because people don't, like, almost every other person dislikes Igor, but then you have the devs, like, inserting him into the narratives again and again. But then we get this, and then now we really see that, okay, there's the reason why they do like his character. There is the reason why they like writing this character.
Yeah, exactly. He has
That's-
a purpose
Yeah,
in
they're
the
putting him
narrative.
through the ringer.
And like, I had this other tweet I made a while back, and I still echo it to this day. But like, as I said, every single character that has been affiliated with Manus Vindicte is both a victim and a victimizer, and that applies to Igor.
So,
And yeah,
Her person will hurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, what would I do about it? Like, maybe not something as rash and as an entire rebellion, but I would probably like break down and cry for a good while. As I said, I'm surprised he didn't break down right then and there. But like, once again, this is a battle against gods. How can a mere mortal survive through all of this? Well,
not to mention a mixed blood.
yeah, a
He
mixed
has
blood.
not many options.
He does not have that many options. But like, it's just as the narrator says in chapter 8. You take a risky gamble. You try to even out the odds, you try to push for an advantage as much as possible, even if the game is rigged against your favor. But you gamble. When one side offers you a better alternative than the one that you're currently serving, and you know that it's a battle against gods and you don't have that much of a choice, you gamble. And it's not that unnatural. Switch sides.
Oh, gambler's fallacy.
Which brings us to the last one of his crimes. As I said earlier, I probably would not have done a rebellion, but you know, switching sides would have been choice. speak about the rebellion, the killing of his own men. The game kind of like gave partially a reasoning for this, in that like he said that, oh, there were spies within his ranks and he had to root them out. I don't fucking buy it. I'm like, it's not that I don't buy it. I think that it's a rather cheap excuse when there's an easier reason to go along with that I think goes along perfectly with his own character. Okay? Just hear me out for this one. I think to get further perspective on all of this, we need to go back on our first point about his adoptions and like to go through with the question, does Igor care about his children?
Yes, but also they're soldiers.
Yes.
He would also
Yeah.
treat them as soldiers. That's the
Yes.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like both of things.
Yeah.
Except like few children that has more favoritism than others.
Mulder. But yeah.
But like, the way that he cares is a little.
Yeah, it's
a bit different.
It's a bit different.
how-
Yeah.
It's a bit different. It's like
Yeah.
I'll do you even better with another question. Is Igor a good father?
Heck nah.
Yes, exactly. No. It's very obvious that the answer is no. Why is this one so small actually? No, I can't do that. Obviously the
Assuming.
answer is going to be no. He's absolutely not a good father. But one thing he is a good general. Going through his character story, there's a few instances between his father, like Igor's father, like Vasily, and Igor himself, where they account their battles as exchanges or trades. Like for example, with this one, it's a bit small, but I will read it for yourself. We fought from the living room to the kitchen. The next day, they backed the other way, lost 3 men in the kitchen, but we held it in less than a day. My commander called it the best deal that the war could offer. Basically, Vasily quantifies the soldiers as numbers. Trade a few hundred soldiers for a few hundred feet in advance in territory, or a few hours holding a certain position, or a few other soldiers in the other side of the battle. Names, identities, ranks, no, those don't matter really to Vasily. They become numbers and units of measurement of power, almost kinda what you do in Igor's minigame, unironically enough.
Yeah, the currencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They become units, they become currencies. The thing is, if you were to ask Igor, he would probably say that he isn't like his father because he raised those soldiers himself. They're his kids. And in a prominent part. Yeah?
I feel like Mordia would be the one raising that technically.
Yeah. Technically, but he's technically their adoptive father that has to account for something, And like a prominent part of his character story is that, he knows the names and the faces behind each number. Each of those names in like the Hall of Merit, he knows every single one of them. And like he's different from Vasily in the way that he knows more about his soldiers than his father. The question is a person really just their name, their face, and their history? What about their personalities? What about their history? What about the time that they went through before going to battle? Was he there when they failed the piloting examination and needed the guardian to be sent to the principal?
Oh no, that's just Mordia all 3 times.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, he isn't. That was Muldir. Once again, he is the brains of the Griffon Legion. Muldir is the heart. Now, why am I making this point? Well, the reason is the only way that you can make a decision like the one that he made in Sao Paulo, choosing to kill a few of his human children in order to secure a future for his other children, is if you only see them as numbers. Sacrifice the few to save the many. Quantify the more against the less. That's a decision a good general would make, not a good father. And as much as he would like to distance himself from Vasily, I think that undoubtedly he he has made the same choices at certain points. And I believe that about concludes my discussion of Igor for this point. I think that I'll end there at this point. I've kept you all long enough for this extra segment, and once again, I really do think that Igor and Moldir and Lapera will be focal and will be coming back in future chapters, so we have a lot left to analyze them, but still, this is a good start. Just want to postface this. Is that a word? Postface? Preface? Postface. Postface this. Once and for all, if it isn't already clear with how I try to handle this analysis, I don't like Igor as a character. I fucking hate his guts. But I like Igor as a character. I have to respect his presence in the narrative because it makes it interesting, and I have to respect his role in it. At the end of the day, this is a story, and I truly do believe that Igor is one of the characters that deserves some kind of an analysis, especially because he's extremely morally gray. I was about to say morally gay, but like, he's extremely morally gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, like, I gave Beryl an analysis this time, you know? I don't see why I shouldn't be giving Igor his own analysis when he's so pivotal and his name is literally in the chapter, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, not gonna lie, Beryl is like morally more questionable than Igor.
Yeah.
She doesn't even like account to her like crimes.
Yeah.
She called her theft a disagreement, and Igor is like, whatever I did, I will carry this in. I will go to court after all this is done.
Like, I realize what I did
first.
is wrong. I acknowledge that. I cannot do anything to cancel what I did.
Yeah.
I will go to court, but before that, I will be helping you because there are shit that needs to be done before that point.
We gotta clean this up first before I die. You know, I know I'm gonna die violently. I know I'm going to suffer for for the consequences for my actions, but we gotta clean this shit up first. You know, it's
like there's a realization within him that he knows he fucked up. There's like at the very least some what do you call it? Self-reflection. No, not self-reflection.
Yeah, there's some self-awareness.
Yeah, self-awareness. There we go. Still don't. I feel like Jesus Christ. I feel like every time I do a presentation, I'm trying to find a way to get myself cancelled.
Oh my god. I mean.
Oh please, look. If we got cancelled, we have gotten like a long time ago before this.
Like I compared Sinners to 3.1. Like I try to do history even though I'm a bit of a dimwit over and over again. And like what else is like, and like now I'm trying to defend. I'm not defending. Analyze Igor.
We're trying to understand most of the character.
Okay, look, I compared one of the most popular ship in this game to Shrek. Okay? And people were convinced too.
You convinced people, good job.
Yeah, people were convinced.
A lot of the things that we even say in this episode, let alone like the entire time that we have started this, every single time, it's like it's some form of, not really hot take, more so like a very what was it called? What was the term called? It was something to do with contradicting the general consensus of things.
Devil's advocate.
New perspective.
Contrary, I think is the word.
Contrary perspective.
Contrary.
Perspective. We try to, because I mean, to be fair, we're all trying to like actually grasp the weight and like the message of the story compared to like others in a more elaborate and deliberate manner.
Yeah.
So,
like I feel like my original title for this would be fitting in that it's a devil's advocate's perspective on Igor.
Yeah, I mean, at least with all of our like analyses and all of our opinions, perspectives, at least they are all authentic. It's based on some of experience and it's based on like knowledge. Like for me, there's like a lot of experience in terms of like analyzing from work and from like history I studied in college and something like that.
Yeah.
It's a new perspective.
Yeah.
It's called forming your own opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yes.
we're sharing our own opinion. You're free to create your own. Don't just take our word
True.
for it. Go through the story one more time. Like, really analyze it yourself. Like, the more analysis we have in this fandom. One thing I would say though, that the only thing that I will not be forgiving Igor for doing is lying to Verton in chapter 12 when he's saying that like he's trying to vie for her approval and support. He said that he knew nothing about what happened inside the Amber Room. The motherfucker lied. I will kill him for it.
Bro.
I'm a certified
This is
Igor
like-
hater now. I will kill him.
He
I
literally
mean,
was
he's a dad. He should know how to lie to
described-
children.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Like,
he knew like exactly the entire process of this of the Amber Room experiment happening, and he just and when he turns around and she's like, "No, I didn't know. I wasn't
No.
there."
rug.
Like,
Sure.
bitch.
Sorry, mate. Didn't know shit.
Girl.
But yeah. That has been Igor. I hope that I will not be killed later tonight. Thank you very much for listening.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much. Hello?
Oh.
Are we back? There's something.
What?
There's something wrong
What?
with the
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh god.
What the fuck is happening this time?
Y'all look a little different from what I remember. Me
Yeah, I
too,
think
but
I
yeah.
think something's wrong. Did something? Yeah, we just.
Oh,
Video again. Is it
Yeah.
happening? Shit.
Yeah, like we lost our signal for a few seconds there, and then.
yeah, there was a disturbance from what I checked on the weather in the void. And you know, weather fairy
In the
checking the
void.
weather,
Yeah,
of course I
yeah.
would be doing this. And apparently we were hit like a smidge of the wing of like a turbulent storm, you know. A little bit of like not the entire storm,
Yeah.
just like a little smidge of the storm.
Huh.
And don't worry, we
Huh?
will be, you know, returning to our usual form in an hour or so. It's just like a syndrome.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, technically, I think it's more so of like the storm hitting the transmission of like the visuals on our comms,
Yeah.
and it just
Mhm.
kind of playing tricks right now. You know, just some illusion.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's still kind of uncomfortable. I'd rather get this done sooner or later. I mean, sooner rather than later.
I mean, you look really high definition right now, right?
I mean, like, yeah, I
Not gonna
do. I
lie.
do look pretty dapper. That being said,
Uh-huh.
very
Yeah.
shiny, very shiny.
Deimos will look a little
Feline.
furry.
Feline.
Yeah.
You look.
He kind of looks familiar. He kind of looks familiar, if anything.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yubi, you look green.
I look very healthy.
I mean, like, at least you look very healthy, you know? You've been eating your salads
Yes.
lately?
I look like I am flourishing right now, as you can see.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
You know what? Maybe I don't mind this after all.
Nah, I don't like being in this form, you know. Gotta fix it eventually.
Yubi,
I
do you
like
like it?
being-
The majority rules.
I mean, you know, next minute you're gonna start like shredding fur everywhere in the station.
Alright, that's pretty bad, honestly. But yeah, while we have to deal with all of this for the next hour or so, I think that we should be ending our transmission for now over here. So, once again, version 3.3. How are we feeling?
We
I'm
are
enjoying.
feeling.
I'm enjoying. Oh my god! Like the next patch is
Yeah.
over.
I think we see
A
that.
lot of dread.
Yeah, I feel like we see that each and every time. You know, we're so tired
Yeah.
of this patch. We dread the next and future
Yeah, but
patch.
like also like excited for the future
Mhm.
story, how they're gonna take
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you know, and also
Yeah.
excited for like to analyze and see more of like the art side. At least for me, being an artist, you
Mm.
know, I would be excited for what kind of creativities I'm gonna be analyzing more in the future, which should be
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's always gonna be fun like this patch and all that. But
Yeah.
you know, we survived our first main story chapter patch. We
Uh-huh.
we barely
Let's
survived. You
go.
know, we barely survived. We had a 5-hour, 10-minute episode, but we're here.
We're here now.
That's
Uh,
true.
And even with that, we got like, on top of the fact that we got the biggest lore drops that we've seen from the chapters. Yeah, you know what? I'd say we survived just about enough to go for
Yeah.
like the next one.
we-
That's what I'm afraid about.
yeah,
Oh,
but still, we survived, and most importantly, we had fun surviving. Do you guys agree?
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah, 3.3 has been a blast.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm excited as well. Super excited as well.
Mhm. Can I add a
Mhm.
note? Can I add a note? Like, meta context note.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
All
I will
right.
have to like specifically clarify, right? This is an actual cat. This is an actual picture of my cat. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll have to-
important. Okay.
Yeah, it's very
It's not-
important.
It's very important to clarify that this is not an image you find on Google. This is an actual picture of my cat.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
It's
I
now. It's
do-
now the Voidcast like mascot.
No,
No, the mascot is still Miss Radio. How dare you?
it's
Secondary
still
mascot.
Esposito.
You know, when you suddenly have like an off-brand branch of that one, like of a mascot of
Random.
like a fast food chain. Yeah, that's a secondary one.
This is the secondary one. Like, yes, this is a cat. If you have not,
Secondary.
if you haven't paid attention much to like the profiles, there is a cat on mine.
Yeah.
That is my actual fucking cat
Yeah.
in real life. So
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
drew a Deimos cat there
Yeah.
just to like, you know what? I don't know what to add. I'm gonna add your cat.
that's a mic.
All right, and like beside from that, another meta context narrative or whatever it is, like another behind the scenes kind of thing. I keep saying sins as like sense and like, bruh, another behind the scenes kind of thing.
Mhm.
We have like a bit of time in between like recording sections, and I just want to share that like after recording Deimos' part with like the Amber Room and all that, we had a major revelation about the game's lore that links
Yeah.
so much.
Apparently, we just kind of figured it out from discussing and comparing notes on
Yeah.
the events in the game
Yeah.
itself. And we discovered that, holy shit, we might have cracked the code of reverse 1999
we
on accident
cracked
and we didn't
part
record it.
of the
No.
storm, and unfortunately, we did not get to record it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So
gonna
what-
be
so- It's what
patch.
we decided. Yeah, what we've decided is that okay, we discovered a very important theme in this story. Like a very important one, but it's like very well hidden, right?
Mm.
But of course we didn't get that on recording. So in the future
Yeah.
patch we decided if when we're gonna discuss this again, it's going to be in a very important patch. I don't know, maybe anniversary, maybe another chapter after that. But we're going to talk about it in the future, I
Yeah, I
suppose.
feel like if it's gonna be anniversary, they might just like drop the bomb.
Yeah.
They might just
Yeah.
like drop the bomb.
Drop the
And
bomb and
reveal
then
Yeah.
like
everything, and we just like
yeah.
don't get to be the first one to like say
Yeah.
like, oh, we already knew it.
But like
Yeah.
eventually we will be telling you. For now, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a little bit of a
Yeah.
Voidcast secret in our green room, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get to suffer with us hiding secrets. You know?
I've always suffered. And
You
you've always
know,
suffered with that.
we solve the game, you know, and then we don't share it with anyone. It's cool.
We saw
Mm-hmm.
the main thing out of the law and just like not telling you.
Well,
uh
oh well.
well, I guess you gotta look forward to future episodes just to see if we do spill the beans in some other episode, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta watch this one first.
Yep.
It's very important that you watch this one first. So,
Yep.
and the previous one even.
Yeah.
So,
It's very much related to the Amber Room, and as not much to say.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But for now, as I said, 3.3 is coming to a close, and with it will be this episode. I think that we're pretty much satisfied with what we have shared and pretty much satisfied with everything that we have explained and experienced throughout this entire patch. So with that, we will be ending this episode here. Once again, I have been ReddShifted, and together with my co-hosts UV and Deimos, we have been 199.9 FM, the only radio station you can trust in these ever-shifting times. Here to say, over the village slipped the days, passing into the nights. The weeks flowed by, the months crept on, the wind howled. And glassified with an autumnal, translucent greenish azure, the dawn flowed tranquility down to the sea. My dear listeners, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. This will be the end of today's podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Oh, and I hope you very much like our icons right now because
Happy
happy
April
April
Fools.
Fools. uh, happy
Have
April
a good
Fools, everyone.
one.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.